Okay, there.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, boys.
It's the pizza, man. That freaking calorie, the cheese and the cholesterol were just messing with my mind.
Oh yeah, okay, hold on.
Well, it say live now.
Okay, well, I apologize for that, but
No, that's all right. I'll come back in.
You already in, ain't you? I see your
well,
face.
I don't think
Oh,
you
I'm
were
in.
out.
Okay.
I just wasn't broadcasting, but we were all three of us were in. I think.
Is my avatar on? That's how you'll know. Or is my fucking face on there?
Your
Yeah,
face.
it's
Yeah, yeah, fuck it. All right. Sorry, boys. Sorry.
no, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I wasn't broadcasting anything, but now I am. But
All right.
going back to the Mexican style, you know, if we go back and we listen to what Bruce Lee used to say, he didn't believe in styles. He didn't believe it was actually something that was functional, for you to categorize yourself in a style. And this is, man, back in the 1972, 1973. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that type of philosophy must have been around even before Bruce Lee, where people really didn't believe in any national styles or it, it's the practitioner, his skill level is what gives him, the advantage over the next one.
Yeah.
It's not the martial art, it's the practitioner that makes the martial art effective.
Yeah.
And I believe the same thing goes with boxing because, you know, like I tell people, oh, the Cubans are because they're slick fighters, and then I was like, yeah, they might train at technical skill more than other countries at a certain aspects of it, but it's not just it. It's like saying that you're the only people, like you're the only ones that are allowed to fight, in a technical style. That's stupid. There's nobody stopping, people in Ukraine or in Russia from becoming slick. Sure as fuck didn't stop Lomachenko from doing it.
Yeah.
There's Chinese who are slick. There's Filipinos who been slick fighters. This is nothing new. I'm talking about from the '70s. Look at some of the Filipino fighters in the '70s. They fought real slick. It wasn't they go in there toe to toe and try to knock everybody out. And you can't say Mexican style is that style of fighting is Mexican and shit. Because you were back during the turn of the century. You had Irishmen fighting bare knuckles the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, when people start using national styles, to be honest with you, I think that's just a subliminal message, to try to evoke passion and nationalism in those countries, like with the Swiss fans, the Cuba, you see Cubans there and they all get boosted up. It's like school, Cuban school. Okay, the same thing with Mexican style. Then you got the Mexicans there, yeah, Mexican style. We die, we're warriors.
Yeah.
It's marketing, man. That's what I'm trying to get at, because you've seen American fighters, black fighters, white fighters fight as brawlers. Jake LaMotta.
Yeah.
Who the hell fought more freaking, if anything, Mexican than that guy? He wasn't Mexican. He was Italian.
Yeah.
Rocky Marciano. See, the term Mexican style, it, when did it originate? When was the first time people started using that word, that phrase Mexican style? Sure as hell wasn't in the '50s, because I never seen a video of Rocky Marciano where somebody said, "Damn, Rocky, you fight like a Mexican."
Yeah.
Have you ever heard it?
Nah, I can't say I have.
Have, I've never look. Jake LaMotta, Henry Armstrong, all these fighters were the ultra aggressive fighters. I'm talking about these dudes are coming at you for 12 rounds, 15 rounds, 18 rounds, whatever the hell the fights lasted back then. They're coming at you from round one. But the term Mexican style wasn't being used because it's not a style of boxing. You got the swarmers, you got the freaking You got the brawlers, you got the brawling style, you got the counter puncher, the boxer. You know, those are boxing styles. Mexican
Yeah,
styles, Cuban style, Chinese style, Kung Fu style, Shaolin. You know, there's no such thing as a national style. It's just
you know,
boxing.
like I agree with you. I agree with you, but at the same time, I do see a little bit of what they saying. I just don't think it's to the extent of what they make it out to be. Like, for example, if you think of a European fighter,
Hmm.
most of the time you're gonna think about a guy standing straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how they fight over there in the UK, they kind of stand straight up. They gonna work the little 1-2, you know what I'm saying? Not a lot of waist movement and stuff. You know, they kind of got like a little stiff robotic style over there. You know, and
Okay.
it's like it's been like that for a long time. Like, just whenever you think about them over there, that's what you think of. And then even like with the black style, you know, like black people
It's
are rhythmic people, so you know they use a lot of rhythm and stuff like
but
that when they fight. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not exclusive to
I agree.
black
I
people,
agree with you saying.
but I'm just saying, you know, just like it's just a facet of what you would think of as the black style, like a person, you know, using a little rhythm, a little footwork, you know, a little flashy, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I just see that a little bit, like with the Mexican style, like you know, like I don't like there's like when I say Mexican style, that's the only one that kind of sounds like a diss. You know what I'm saying? Because you know we knowing them for not using defense. They coming in throwing a lot of punches, a very basic style. A novice can fight the style. You know what I'm saying? So it feel like a diss. The other ones I kind of feel like they kind of share a little similar characteristic, but it's not like to the level that they say it is. It's not like, okay, if it's a black fighter, he automatically gonna fight like this. Or if it's a European fighter, he automatically gonna fight like that. I don't see it like that, but I kind of see a little bit what they saying.
See, a few years ago, well, actually, like what was it, like 2 years ago, I started hearing that a lot about Mexican styles and other Europeans are stiff, and so I started looking at old films of English fighters, German fighters, and you'd be surprised, man. I mean, some of these they were like 1930s, some of them in late 20s and stuff like that. And you'd be
Yeah.
surprised, man, if you get to see some of these old films, you start seeing these guys with boxing ability and movement, and moving their waist, and and turning their opponents, and doing all a lot of slick shit. So I mean, I'm wondering like where did this European, you know,
See, but you got to understand this too, though, brother. Like,
listen.
like you like a doctor in a room full of factory workers. You know what I'm saying? Like when you communicating with people, you got to consider the purpose and the audience. And your type of audience is different. Like God, everybody not gonna be schooled on the stuff that you know, like knowing all these old fights and seeing all these different styles. Like most people, they gonna be more on the casual level. Like for example, I was telling the old school guy about Anthony Joshua, and
Right.
I said he from the UK, and so you know he kind of I said he kind of then he finished the sentence for me. He was like, yeah, he kind of stiff and stand straight up, and he not a hardcore boxing fan, so like just a casual like him, that's what he think of when he think of the UK. He think of that stiff European style. But if he was like you, he could look deeper and be like, okay, yeah, they do got a lot of different things going on. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Because if you recall, Joe Calzaghe wasn't a stiff fighter, and I know you were telling me you don't really like him,
No,
but
I just didn't like the
you
way
started appreciating him later.
yeah, he a hell of a fighter.
But Joe Kasagi he had waist movement. He was slick. He would move, roll with punches. He would do a lot of stuff. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, he didn't have
Prince
that typical.
Nassim was a slick fighter. He wasn't, a straight brawler. He had
You know what?
boxing.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
No, 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 go ahead. I
You
was
know
just
what?
going on that. That Great Britain has, slick fighters.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
where I think this stems from? How we get these styles? I think this is why how we get other What do you? I think we get it the same way how we get other general consensus. I think why they label different styles of boxing is because they take the best fighters that are in that race and then they use that to brand the style. So what
Mhm.
that does is that creates a general consensus because they're using those those
Those examples.
those examples. So then that's where you get kind of like the style, like any other general consensus, because I'll explain it like this, how I'm thinking about it. So one of you has touched on a point that I agree with. Your personality transitions into the ring. So if you're a laid back person or a defensive person, that's probably how you're going to fight.
Right.
But when we use the example of Lomachenko, I know where Lomachenko is. They do train their athletes a certain way. So a good example of that is Dirk Nowitzki, the basketball player.
Right.
He was a big man in the NBA, but he was a big man that could do it all.
Yeah, but I
He would.
think Dirk is German, no?
Oh, wait, sorry, I said the wrong name. I'm gonna get banned off
I mean,
YouTube
Tony
for.
Kukoc, no, but he was from Yugoslavia or Czechoslovakia or something.
Okay, there was one of those ones. There was one of those basketball players that was from Lomachenko. So my bad if I get the wrong one. But
Deadlift
What?
shrimp.
there was what?
It wasn't deadlift shrimp or nothing like that, was it?
Dylan Shrimp, I think, is German.
Are you
Yeah,
German?
I can't remember the name. Maybe I got the name wrong because I haven't watched ball in a long time. But there was
Right.
one of those basketball players that was from around that area. But in Canada, I don't know what it's like where you guys are at in Canada. When they teach you to be a big man in ball, you learn just to be a big man, like how to play the post, how to box out. But this fella here was a big man too, but he could do everything. He could shoot from the three. He could shoot from the 3 point line. He could drop fadeaways and shit because they were training their athletes to do everything.
Could you
So
be
in a
talking
way,
about Tony Kukoc?
it could be possibly, yeah. It was in the '90s, probably why I get the name wrong.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is happening is sometimes depending on where you're at, you can be trained a certain way. Because I know in over here in Canada, when you get trained as a big man, you you get trained as a big man. But over where Lomachenko's at, when I done research, they train their athletes in all sports to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's wrong that I don't think people do it intentionally, but I think it's wrong.
That's just bad coaching, I think.
Well, because of the general consensus, they might take the most popular Mexican boxer and
Yeah.
then they'll associate his style of fighting to that nationality, and then what it creates is a general consensus. Well, that's how all Mexicans fight because they brand that the Mexican style. But what happens with general consensuses, like anything else, you tend to think that's all that nationality can do. I
Then the
think that
crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
what that
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
I think that's where that kind of stems from.
But you
I
know
think
what? I kind of I agree with what you're talking about. How people like different people train their fighters differently because like a lot of the Mexicans and the trainers that I saw, they put a lot of effort into their conditioning more than
yeah,
their skills. Like, bro, I could not run with these people. I'm talking
yeah,
about we would go to the track and they would literally lap me. I'm talking about and like they just put a lot of focus into that. Like soon as we got to the gym, we running, we working
yeah,
out, and we running again. I'm talking about we running the bleachers and running the stairs and running miles at the same time.
yeah,
Like the shit was crazy. Like they didn't put as much into the skill sets, but man, when it came to conditioning, man, they were in fucking shape. And you know that takes time. That takes effort. Like if you putting all your effort into your conditioning, I mean, you don't really have as much time for skills. There's only so much time in a day. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So I think that's part of Mexican style because you don't see Mexicans with bad conditioning too much.
No,
They bodies don't look real muscular and toned. they look more like freestyle swimmers, but the motherfuckers be in shape, man. It's like they just got different body types. Like me, I was muscular, I'm cut up.
Yeah.
If we run sprints, they cannot keep up with me at all. But when it came to that distance and that endurance, them motherfuckers was bad, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to for I like somebody whoever uses that. I mean, I would like for one of those dudes that's always mentioning Mexican styles. I like to I would like to hear someone ask them to actually define it to them what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just so the fans could you actually know what it is that they're trying to say because I don't really buy into that. I mean that's just me. Other people have opinions and they're entitled to it, but I don't
Yeah.
really buy into that style. I mean, what do they go to the liver more? They throw more body punches. They strictly body punchers. What is it? Because everything that a Mexican fighter does or has done throughout the history of boxing has been done by other nationalities. You know,
But look though, Ty Legacy, he say that we get the general consensus from the best fighters of the race. But
And
with the
everybody
Mexican
gets branded.
But look, with the Mexicans, they seem to get their consensus from the worst fighters. Like they don't go to the skilled fighters and get the consensus. They go to the low grade fighters with primitive skills and then brand the whole race with that.
and,
you,
and,
you know what I'm
and I
saying?
and I agree because I agree with that because if you think about it, the most successful in the Hall of Famers and the all-time great Mexican fighters were skill fighters.
Yeah.
They didn't fight anything like whatever that is that they're trying to sell. So I don't know why create something that really actually it's watering down what your best fighters have done throughout the years.
Yeah.
It's almost like instead of going a step forward, you're going three steps backwards.
Yeah.
I'd rather well, I'm not Mexican, but I'd rather, boast about Juan Manuel Marquez's skill as a Mexican fighter and look at the achievement of skill that we could get to.
See what
And yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say that they're actually trying to regress the sport. Because
Mm,
if they're saying that Mexican style is superior and that's where all the money should
right.
go, they saying that everybody else need to regress their skills and start fighting in that style instead of
Mm,
getting better as the sport's supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
mm. Okay. Yeah, that right there, it turned on like a light switch. It turned on a light switch because it could be it's a way of actually yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
But you know what? A lot of these guys ain't never been in a ring too. Like,
Yeah.
like, like if they had actually been in the ring and they was getting hit upside the head and shit like that, like they would look at shit a lot differently. Cause like when I met Lynn Ball, the motherfucker got a second round knockout over Ron Lyle. That's this man here. I feel like he kind of saved my life because I'd be off in there going toe to toe, slugging, no head movement, none of that shit. And like he came along and taught me what boxing really is, and that shit started. It made boxing fun instead of just going in there going to war every time. Cause I ain't no fucking Mexican style motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not the dude that's gonna take two to give one. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? That's not nothing I'm trying to do. But I didn't have no choice at first. So, when you actually know what the sweet science is, you start looking at boxing a little bit different.
I
Hmm.
just don't like getting hit.
I mean, I don't see who does. I mean, some people say they do, but how the
The
fuck
way
you getting hit, man? That don't even make sense.
the way I look at boxing, this is how I do it. Well, you got to be willing to accept the punch. But
Yeah,
this is how I look at a punch. Number one, I don't want to be punched because part of the competition is not to get punched.
yeah,
Number two, I don't want to get punched because that shit fucking sucks. But how I approached boxing was I don't want to get hit, but I can accept being hit.
and
You
it's
know what I
nice to
mean?
get hit. It's how you get hit. You don't want to get hit square in the face. If a
No.
motherfucker hit you, you want to hit him like hit you on the forehead or some shit, and not
Yeah.
square in your shit. You know what I'm saying? You
So
want to get clipped.
I'll accept getting hit. I can accept the fact that I'm going to get hit.
Yeah.
Whether I don't want to get hit, but I can accept the fact that that's how I learn. That's how I approach boxing. That's why you get motherfuckers to spar, because you'll find out if they want to box.
Yeah. For sure.
Nobody want. I know I don't want to get hit, man. I fucking hate getting hit. Even if it don't hurt, it's just another man
Yeah.
fucking invading my personal space, and it pisses you off when you're not used to it. It takes a while to learn to get punched mentally. It's not even that it hurts. It takes a while just to get hit and accept that you get hit. Some people want to cower, some people want to kill a motherfucker, but that's how I look at it. Like, I fucking hate getting hit, man, but I'm not going to fight and spar scared, because I have to accept that I'm going to get hit. That's how I do it. That's how I approach boxing.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's the way it is. Shit.
But
I'm pretty
the
sure
actual sport
Andre
of
Ward
boxing,
and all the motherfuckers don't want to get hit.
yeah,
Shit.
the actual combat, itself, it's gonna force you to accept that you're gonna get hit, because unless your ass is invisible, I don't know who
Yeah,
doesn't get. There's not a fighter who's never been hit, and hit a lot and hit hard. It doesn't exist. But
yeah,
the sport itself, the combat, the competition, it's gonna it's a cruel teacher. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But throughout time, you're gonna learn how to maneuver in certain ways. That's well, you should. I'm not gonna say that everybody does that. You should
yeah,
learn this certain skills that are, gonna allow you to get hit less. You're gonna get
yeah.
hit. The
Check
skills,
this out.
yeah.
Oh, check
Go ahead,
this
go
out,
ahead.
man. I ain't mean to cut you. I thought you about to have a little
No, no,
break
no.
in
Go
what
ahead,
you.
go ahead, go ahead. You good?
But I got a story about Mexican style. I got a friend that started boxing. You know what I'm saying? He been boxing for like a year or some shit like that. And he was going to this gym, and I didn't see him that often, but I ran into him one day, and he told me he had a fight coming up. Keep in mind, this guy's like 6'4", and he gonna fight in light heavyweight. In the amateurs like 178. So he tell me that they teaching him to fight Mexican style. So I try to tell him, I'm like, no, man. I said, man, you 6'4". Look how long your arms are. His arms down there go to his knees. I said, man, you need to be on the outside using that jab, man, controlling your distance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just being pretty out there. Man, you ain't supposed to be in there all your weight on your front foot. Because when he told me Mexican style, that's what he did. He got into his stance and put all his weight on his front foot. I swear he put all his weight on his front foot. So I was like, no, like I felt like I was begging this dude to not go into this fight no shit that you call it Mexican style. And so he ended up having this fight, man, and this dude was busted up so bad,
Wow.
like you could barely even recognize him. Like both his eyes was swollen. He was looking like a raccoon. His fucking mouth and shit. Like I couldn't even believe it was an amateur bout. Like I wasn't there to see the fight, but it's like I just couldn't see how he could get the damage that he got from a fucking 3 round, 1 minute round fight. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? It was his first novice fight, and he got the hell kicked out of him. 6'4", light heavyweight, Mexican style.
Damn.
You know what
Yeah,
that
you should.
reminds me of?
Reminds me
What's
of Paul
Remember,
Williams.
remember when we were having a conversation, like you can't always change the coaches and scapegoat it on the coach.
Right.
That is a time to me that you change coaches, because anytime a coach gets you to not utilize your strengths, get rid of them, because
check this out.
you're supposed to utilize your strengths, not throw them out the window.
Yeah,
Speaking
you're
of coach,
natural.
check this out, Ty. They do a body drill where they lift their hands over their heads, and he let his son put the gloves on and just punch him in the body like as
Yeah,
hard
seen
as
it.
you can. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But you got to know what you're doing when it comes to stuff like that. You can't get your fucking son to just start wailing away on people. They gonna break a rib or something down there, man. I know they are.
You're taking damage before you even get in the fucking ring.
That don't even make sense, man.
That's a gradual process of conditioning, man. That's not something you just start doing and doing it that way. You know, you got to
Yeah.
gradually build a threshold for it first of all, and then your muscles start to condition. You know, the conditioning process to harden it, and it takes years, man, to do that. That's not some shit you're gonna do in 2 or 3 fucking months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
like we have two gyms where I'm from. We got one the Cougars and we got another one called Beat Down Boxing. At Beat Down Boxing, you gotta buy 2 months. You know what I'm saying? It's 60 a month, so you gotta pay 120 for 2 months. At the other gym, you can pay month by month and it's only $30. So he took that ass whooping because he wanted to save $30 a month. You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah. I'm big on proper preparation because I'll give you like an example how I look at it. Like I'm a guy that believes in control sparring. By control sparring, I mean it's not full out like you're actually learning. So because I'll tell you right off the bat, I'll do hard sparring because you can't treat me. I got to learn to get in there and get smacked around and shit. Like you got to prepare me and for a fight, you got to simulate a fight. But
Yeah.
I believe in control sparring because it's not that I don't want to get hit and I don't want you to put the fucking paws on me, but I have to train properly because all this all out sparring or whatever, it does is if you're either going to fight offensive or defensive, depending on the type of dude that you are, and that's going to create bad habits before you get into the ring. The whole point of sparring, you could go hard and stuff, but the whole point of sparring is so you can learn in a fight position before you get into a fight. And you can't do that if you're damaging motherfuckers before they get in the ring. It's no different than if you're a basketball coach and you're coaching kids, you're gonna let them scrimmage every once in a while to assess, okay, this guy here, he got his strong strengths here, this guy's doing this and doing that. But
Yeah.
you ain't gonna let them scrimmage the whole time. You gotta drill them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's the same to me as in boxing. You ain't learning nothing if you're going in there getting the shit kicked out of you every time you go sparring. You're not learning nothing. Any mistakes you're making defensively because you got too defensive, because you got some dude that's fucking better than you kicking the shit out of you, you're going to make him the ring. That's going to transition in the ring. And it's the same if you're an offensive type of dude that you get real offensive because the guy's hitting you. And whatever offensive mistakes you're making, that's going to transition into the ring. So when I watch my sparring, I keep it at a happy medium. I spar with people that are better than me, but I ain't going in there to get the shit kicked out of me every day because I ain't going to learn like that. And I might be damaged before I even get in the ring.
Yeah. I ain't never had proper sparring. Every single time I get in the ring, the coach might say, "You guys just move around, work on this, work on that." Soon as somebody get hit too hard,
it's on.
that shit flies out the motherfucking window.
It's
And
on and
especially,
popping.
go ahead, brother.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying it's on and popping.
Yeah, especially if another gym comes to your gym or you go to another
Oh no,
gym,
no, no.
that's like a real fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna fake one.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no working on shit if another gym comes. I'm trying to kick his ass because I know he's gonna try to kick mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm the
I
type of guy that like I said, you got to stimulate the fight, but you got to learn to fight before you get into a fight. So
Yeah,
like
right.
controlled sparring, like sometimes I'll go hard, you know what I mean? Or a guy that's better than me, I'm in the sport of boxing. I got to let him put it on me. Like I can't be protected from getting a little bit of a whooping. But like what I mean by controlled sparring is sometimes I might go in and spar and he might say, I want you to work on the jab and the right hand, and I want you to work on defense. So the whole objective is not to fucking have a who got the biggest dick contest. It's so you can utilize a jab and a right hand and a variation of the jab. So when you get into a fight and a real motherfucker wants to knock your head off, and you got to use that jab and right hand to protect yourself, you know how to do it. But we're still going to train you in a way where you're in a fight situation. So you got to learn to do it under pressure.
I,
That's why I think people should spar. Because if you put me in there every day and I'm just fucking trying to beat this motherfucker that's better than me and he's kicking the shit out of me, by the time the fucking fight starts, I ain't gonna know how to use a jab and a right hand properly because I didn't train it before I got into a fight. So you
yeah,
gotta have that happy medium of, okay, we ain't gonna just get you to throw jabs and right hands on the bag because that ain't gonna help you. We're gonna put you in a stressful environment. Is in a dude's gonna punch you in the fucking face. You're gonna pay for your mistakes. So you're gonna be in a fight situation, but you're gonna learn in that fight situation. So when the real time comes for when a
yeah.
motherfucker wants to knock your head off, you can utilize it. You got to teach somebody how to fight before they get into a fight.
I agree with you 100%, man. Because I done definitely been there. When I was like 15, 16, this motherfucker named Josh was 25 and he used to kick my ass every day. And at the time, I felt like it was helping me because I was in there with a much better guy every single day. So I was like, if I could improve against him, I'm improving as a fighter. But
Yeah,
but once I left that gym, like I saw that I still they didn't help me any. You know what I'm
no,
saying? Because I was still getting hit a lot and stuff like that. It wasn't until I met Coach Ball I learned about boxing, and I ended up sparring that motherfucker again when I was 18, and it was a different story. You know what I'm saying? I know
yeah,
how to fight too now, motherfucker.
That's
For real.
that sounds like the Lamont Peterson and Earl Spence sparring.
Yeah,
yeah,
When
yeah,
Lamont
yeah,
sparred Errol was an amateur. He was a youngin.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Lamont gave him a little boxing lesson. But look
yeah,
what happened years later. You know what I'm saying? After the other one improved.
yeah.
yeah,
And don't
And
get me wrong, I'm not saying you can't spar hard at all. Like, but what I'm saying is you got to learn first. Like I tell motherfuckers all the time, like they'll be like, "Oh, well, you don't want to spar hard." Listen, I'm not here to fucking see. Let's see who got the biggest dick. I'll save that for the fucking ring when I'm fighting a motherfucker. I'm gonna show
yeah,
you I'm the better fucking dude. But if you're sparring hard all the time, especially with guys that are better than you, and you're just getting the shit kicked at you all the time, all that teaches you is how to take a fucking beating.
yep. It
I
teaches you
I,
how to
I found
submit
I
and shit
found
too.
sparring guys that were actually less knowledgeable than myself. Or starting out a little bit difficult, it's more awkward, and because you can't control them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They don't know any better, so they feel like the first time you hit them with a jab, these motherfuckers want to take your head off, man. You gotta
yeah,
fucking, you gotta put them in line. You gotta like hit them with a body shot, like, hey, calm your ass down, buddy. Relax,
yeah.
let's work. Help you out.
And
But no,
it gives people a false perception of boxing because you can get a guy that wants to be serious about boxing. He gets into a ring, he's getting the shit kicked at him all the time and not
it's like
learning.
yeah,
He
it's like
don't think boxing is for him. But the thing is, he don't realize if you got under 5 fights or something, that experience that you're getting right now is not going to be the experience that you're going to have if you fight somebody. But the only experience he ever had of boxing is getting the shit kicked out of him, and that could deter him for boxing. That's why I'm not into that. I'm not into that myself personally.
Man,
That tough
you
I
man
believe
shit. Learning how to spar.
variation. I think you have to have some control sparring, but there are
Yeah,
times that you gotta let the guys let their hands fly.
I
But that's
man,
agree.
something that's like Trey said. That's something you got to do, man. With other clubs, other gyms coming in
Yeah,
and want to get some work with you, man. Fuck them up.
yeah,
Don't fuck up the guys that are in your gym just for the fuck of
yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure,
Work on the guys coming in that you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
for
yeah,
sure. And it's
Knock
just
their
like
asses
that.
out. That's how we did it. Shit, me and my homeboys in the gym, we used to spar. We had good work, but nobody was out there trying to hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But when the other guys came in, from different gyms and shit, wanted to get sparred, man, they either whooped us or we whooped them. It was on and popping. Like fuck that. It was a fight. It wasn't a sparring session, man. It was a fight with 16-ounce gloves and headgear. That's
And that's all right when you get to a level where you're comfortable because in
and no,
boxing,
and
you got
no
to learn to
fucking
be,
referee, no Richard Steele, no
yeah, no.
fucking big Draculas. None of these motherfuckers in there. You just going to war, man. Ain't nobody even said nothing. Nobody even
And
separated.
that's all right if you're comfortable in the ring. But like, for an example, if I have a coach and he's his objective is saying, okay, I want you to vary up the jab. I want you to go up, down. I want you to go down. I want you to be offensive with it. I want you to be defensive with it. If I'm in a ring with the guy kicking the shit out of me, especially if I'm not used to boxing, that shit's going out the window. But you know what that's going to fucking produce? That's going to produce when I get into a fight, the muscle memory and just my experience of the fight. I ain't going to know how to use that jab because I'm so used to fucking, you know what I mean, protecting myself or doing whatever the fuck I got to do. I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me by some fucking dude. I shouldn't even get the shit kicked out of me because I didn't learn how to utilize shit. I learned how to fight. You learn how to fight how you train. You train or you fight how you train. If you're training to be defensive because you got a dude kicking the shit out of you, or if you're offensive, depends on how you react. Some people, when they're getting a beating, they get a little defensive, and some people, when they get a beating, they get offensive. Either way, you ain't learning how to. You got to mix it up, but you got to learn how to fight before you fight. So I don't give a fuck about motherfuckers thinking I'm scared. I'm just saying, no, I want to learn. If you think I'm scared,
that's why it's important, man. From day one, that you're working with competent coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Guys,
you
actually,
gotta.
guys that actually, take a fighter's health into account, especially the youngins and the ones coming up. Novices. You gotta protect them. You just can't throw them into the ring. With some. I think the worst thing is if for you to put a novice with another novice. That's a fight. I mean,
I got a story. I got a story. When I first fucking started boxing, man, I was 14, and I had been boxing for like 2 months or something. It was another amateur in the gym named Allen. And he had been there for like a month longer than me. He sparred one day. He sparred one of the pros because we was the only two amateurs and everybody else was pros. So he sparred one of the pros, and he got a couple rounds in, and then he said he wanted to spar me the next day. So I come off in there and we sparring shit. I'm talking about I beat the hell out this dude, man. I'm talking about I beat him so bad that he was begging to get out the ring after the round. I'm talking about my mom at the gym, his parents at the gym, my mom on the ground laughing and all that kind of shit. Like I beat the hell out this dude. So after that, the coaches, Curtis and his brother Ernest, they was like, shit, we need to put him off in there with Miguel. Miguel was a little 13-year-old Mexican, but he had been fighting since he was like 7 or 8 or something like that. So he had a little experience. And they kept on hyping the fight up and shit. So he didn't actually go to the gym though. He went to another gym. So they had to call for him to come spar. So he came and sparred that weekend. And he went off in there and kicked the hell out of me. I'm talking about I was a novice, man. Every time I jabbed, I didn't have my chin behind my shoulder. And I just left my chin up in the air. And every single time I jabbed, he counted over that shit like bam, bam. Like I didn't even see where that shit was coming from. Like I couldn't understand what was going on, and didn't nobody tell me what was going on. Like the dude basically stopped me in the fucking gym, man. Like he he would catch me with some blows, and they would give me some time. They would be like, give him some time, and I would recover and shit. The whole fucking ring is looking like some clouds. It's like I'm in the fucking sky or something. You know what I'm saying? And then we get back in there, and the same thing will happen. I throw the jab, and he come right over the top of it, bam, bam. So they were like, "Nah, he not ready." You know what I'm saying? But that shit was a pretty good ass whooping. And if I wasn't tough minded, that would have been a good place to quit. But I'm a competitor, so I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna come back because I want to get better. But a lot of people would have been like, man, fuck this shit, I'm gone.
Because that's your personality. That's your personality, right? But you can't deter somebody from boxing. You can't deter somebody from boxing before they even start by giving them a false illusion. Like I did some hard sparring, and fucking, I always, even before I got in boxing, I just always made sure to throw the jab because my grandfather drilled into me. But I'd be doing hard sparring all the time, so every time I throw a jab, it's really like get the fuck off me, you're kicking my ass, and then you know what I mean. I'll throw a jab, whap, like that, and then they'll be like, you got to change the variation of your fucking. You got to change the speeds of your fucking jab. How am I supposed to change the speed of my fucking jab if every time I'm used to throwing a jab, whap, as quick as I fucking can because the motherfucker's kicking the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't even do that big bravado shit. I don't give a fuck if they say, oh, you don't want to spar her and shit. Whatever, man. You train that motherfucker that's getting his ass kicked all the time. I'll get my ass kicked once in a while because I like training with guys that are better than me because that's how you get better. But I like doing control sparring with somebody my level or close. so I can actually get it down because I ain't going to learn because this fucker's going to pick me off every time you teach me something defensively. That's fine. You call me, you can think whatever you want. You train that motherfucker that's getting his ass kicked, and I'll train the way I want. And then if you want to sort it out, put that motherfucker in the ring with me. We got the same amount of fights. That's
Yeah.
how I do it. Well, I'll see you on fight night. Don't fucking, I don't give a don't go on about my training. We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
But what was the topic? We all fucking here sitting here talking like Roy Jones.
Hey,
No,
we always come up with some topics and we titles and shit. And then we just go off for freestyling on some shit. So I
Yeah,
mean,
fuck it.
I was just thinking about this.
we should never have like any written down topics and shit. It's never gonna happen.
Well, what topics y'all got written down?
Hey, Trey, I remember that when Shannon, Fannin, live stream, we were talking about you were asking me
Terrence
about.
Crawford. I asked you, what's the chances you think Terrence Crawford gonna fight PBC fighters?
Okay. I think I mean, I think they can, man. When it's money, man, involved, man. You know, these promoters, man, they set the egos aside. It's been already proven. Um, it to me, I think Terrence Crawford wants it. I don't see why Errol Spence wouldn't want it. He seems more
Well,
eager than he
yeah, I'm
seems more
talking
eager
about.
than Thurman to me.
I really the question I was asking like is what is the chances that do you see Bob Arum letting Terrence Crawford fight PBC fighters?
And yeah, just like I remember I told you that if I was Bob Arum and I was who's Crawford's manager? Isn't it Cameron Duncan?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not good with that type of stuff, brother.
I'm not sure who his manager is, but I'd advise him to go after Keith Thurman. You know,
Well,
if
that
I was
would
Bob
make more
Arum,
sense. I mean, he got two belts.
yeah, you know, not and like I said before, Keith Thurman right now, you know, he's coming off a long layoff, injury prone. His mind wasn't exactly in boxing. Got married, focusing on family life. You know, um,
Yeah,
I don't think he's 100% back. You know, mentally into beast mode or into fight mode. So if he gets in and you can get him in about whether he training or not, this is exactly somebody who's who's coming off a long layoff. Like I said, everything I said before. Not only that, he probably just fought one or two tune-up guys who probably aren't going to be, at that top-notch level. So why not go after him? Target him. That's
yeah,
what
I
I
don't
would do if I was Bob Arum. I mean, Errol Spence has been active. He's young. His mind has been in the game. You know, he's out there
yeah,
kicking ass. It's a more dangerous fight, I think, in my opinion, for
Crawford.
Crawford to go after Spence.
This
Yeah,
early, yeah.
I mean, it's not guaranteed that he beats Thurman, but I mean, Thurman right now to me looks like a swimmer, with a cut in the middle of the ocean.
yeah,
Right now, go after the guy who's less likely to be 100% mentally focused. That motherfucker Earl Spence on point. I'm telling you right now, he's on point. He's sharp, and he wants to just fight whoever the fuck is out there.
that
Who's
I'd
makes
that,
sense.
rather,
Spence?
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
I think it makes sense because like from the surface, if I'm Bob Arum, it doesn't really feel like it would be a smart idea to take one of my only stars and put him in there with these bigger talented guys at the PBC. But in business you got to take risk. So if I am
Right,
to take a risk, a smart risk would be to go after Keith Thurman right now for all the reasons that you just said. This
right.
is like if you're gonna beat Keith Thurman, this might be the best time to beat him ever in his
Yeah,
career.
and I agree with that. And to add on to that, not only is Keith Thurman the least active one and the least, boxing focused one, but he also the one that holds the two titles. And right
Exactly.
now, it's almost a consensus that Keith Thurman is the number one.
Yeah,
On paper, he's the number one guy there, right?
I give it to
So
him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the number one guy, and he is the weaker. As far as the reasons I mentioned, he seems the most, the logical guy to target, and
Yeah,
the guy that's gonna actually, give you more. Um, what do you call it? Lost my train of thought.
more reward because he
Yeah,
got two
he's gonna
belts.
give you the greater reward, and I'm not saying he's the weakest link, but the motherfucker hits hard as fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
I mean,
but
Bob Arum could
but
kill two birds with one stone if he did it like that.
exactly, he makes Bud, you know what I'm saying, the absolute number one guy, period. And at the same time, they're gonna target like the guy who's just mentally not focused into boxing.
Yeah.
see,
So that's why
but
that's where I would go.
what happens if Crawford beats Thurman though?
As a matter of fact, you know what I think? w- What wouldn't be a far-fetched scenario, because Horn is affiliated with Top Rank. They work. They work
But
together.
I think they had one of those deals where since Horn beat Pacquiao in the contract, Bob Arum had the rights to his next several fights.
Right. Okay. So I believe if Terrence Crawford beats Jeff Horn, don't be surprised if Bob Arum is gonna give him or get him another title shot with a PBC fighter, to test the waters to see what's going on over there and use him, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
as cannon fodder. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would. I'd be like, okay, go out there and test. If Horn might headbutt the fuck out of one of these dudes, or do some crazy shit, or give him some work, make it a tough, grueling fight, then
Yeah,
he can have
open up scar
Horn come.
tissue on motherfucker.
Yeah, and Crawford's a sniper, man. If he sees a cut on you, man, that motherfucker gonna gas you up.
No, I'm saying, yeah, 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 yeah. I understand what you're saying now.
Crawford's going for that eye.
If
Yeah,
I was Bob
Regardless.
Arum, that's what I would do. If Crawford Crawford convincingly beats Jeff Horn, I wouldn't even go exactly right away after either one of them. I'd grab Jeff Horn and like, look, hey, don't worry about it. I got you, Jeff. I'm gonna get you in another big fight, man. You gonna make some money. Come on.
yeah,
Go in there and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? Before I throw in my number one.
yeah.
Get his ass banked up, shipped off to Australia, but guess what? He might I'd
I,
use I'd use Jeff Horn the same way Golden Boy used David Lemieux for
yeah,
Canelo. They got his ass in
yeah,
there with Triple G and shit, and see if he could shake something, see what's going on over there. Test the water. Because all of a sudden, after Lemieux, we're like, okay, yeah, we can
yeah,
get it with him. So I'd use Jeff Horn if I was Arum the same way Golden Boy used what's his name, Lemieux.
yeah. That's pretty sharp.
That is sharp.
If I was me, shit, I have Crawford fight both of them and shit back to back 2 weeks in a row. I want an undisputed goddamn it. I don't care when it comes, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
See, but my
business
thing
wise,
is,
yeah. Oh, then you got that other dude. I'm sorry to cut you off. Then you got Bob Arum has Konstantin Parnamarov like a fucking on vacation over there in Ukraine, wherever in Russia.
goddamn, when the last time he fought?
Brad Solomon.
When was this?
He beat Brad Sullivan. He got the decision over Brad Solomon about 2 years ago. He was actually ranked higher in the IBF than Earl Spence.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought Panamera was like a mandatory or something.
Then they offered him a title eliminator versus Earl Spence.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
turned
that's
that
what I
down.
remember. Yeah, that's what I remember.
And then you had Earl Spence became Kell Brooks mandatory.
Yeah,
But Panamara, man, I mean, the dude's undefeated. I don't know what the hell's going on with this dude. Well, I thought Brad Solomon won that fight. It was a close fight. I thought he won the fight. He was a little bit busier, but hey, whatever. It's Brad Solomon is the guy that really. I think he's the Russell Wilson of freaking boxing.
yeah. I can't
But
say I'm familiar with him. I don't know nothing about him.
Brad Solomon, remember they call him? They used to call him Busy Bee. and he went by King Solomon. He fought damn man. He really didn't fight a lot of big fighters, but he fought on a ESPN card. They used to say he fight similar to Roy Jones.
Yeah, I gotta pull him up on YouTube or something. I don't know
Yeah,
nothing
look him
about
up,
him.
man. He was nice, man. He had like an unorthodox style a lot. He fights almost. There's nobody that ever fought like Roy Jones
Yeah,
more than that. Talk about leaping hooks and shit and shifty. No, the guy's a good fighter. But
yeah.
I mean, he lost that fight to Panamarev and he just fell off the map. He was very inactive, always going to prison and shit. I don't know. He just his mind wasn't in boxing, I guess. But the dude was super talented. I got to see him fight live here in Miami like about 2 or 3 times. I think twice.
All right, let me
And
ask you this question here. If
yeah,
I had to put your feet to the fire and like you was at a casino and you had to bet your money and you was gonna bet whether Terrence Crawford fought PBC fighters or he didn't, where would you bet your money?
I put my money that he's gonna fight him.
What about you, Ty?
Yeah, I put my money on that he'd fight them too.
I would put my money that he ain't. I see Timothy Bradley 2.0.
Oh,
See,
I
the thing
hope not.
is,
I hope not too, man. I hope I'm wrong, but I just see it coming.
I know Pacquiao ain't gonna fight nobody there. That man, I'd fucking man make a dead bet with the devil and then stab
Well,
his
that's
ass
a
in the
good
back.
point. That's a good point. Even Pacquiao ain't fought now PBC
No,
fighter, right?
Pacquiao, Bob Arum ain't gonna put him in there. Pacquiao in there with no true freaking welterweight, man.
They don't want to Pacquiao. So I never blame it on the fighter because you don't know it. It's the fucking they got a team and management shit, but they ain't trying to fight nobody fucking that good or top. Pacquiao's next fight's probably gonna be me.
Who were they
Damn, you
talking?
get
Who were they talking about Pacquiao fighting just now?
Alvar, fuck.
Yeah, Alvarado, Mike
Yeah.
Alvarado.
tough. Man, give me a break, bro. What a crock of shit. Hey, if you're gonna fight Mike Alvarado, man, you just need to fucking just go out there and run the Senate, man, and do a hearing over there and shit, and
Look at the
you know
look at the pattern. He fought.
pass some legislature, legislate, let. Uh, can't even say.
Legislation. I'll
Look at
talk
the
about it.
pattern. Look at the
Pass
pattern
some
with Pacquiao.
legislation or some shit, man, and call it a day, man. Because Mike Alvarado, he's a mile high or a mile deep, man. Retirement.
You
Well,
see
look
how
at the
my boy
pattern.
Marquez did him.
Look at the pattern
I
with
wish Mike
Pacquiao. People
Alvarado
think that I'm
fought
being biased and shit.
Pacquiao.
All you got to do is look at the pattern now. They don't want either him or the management or both. Ain't all you got to do is watch how a dude moves. He fought Timothy Bradley for the third time. Then he went to Jeff Horn, which was supposed to be, you know what I mean, a soft touch.
Yeah.
And then now he went from Timothy Bradley for the fucking rematch. Then he went to fucking Jeff Horn, and then now they're going to the lengths of saying, well, we want Lomachenko, a guy that never even fought at 140. That's not acclimated.
Not
So I
even
mean,
close to fucking 140.
are those the fucking moves are those do those seem like fucking moves of somebody that's trying to get fucking top guys? No. So I ain't not biased on any fucking fighter. I'm not the biggest Pacquiao fan anyways, but all you got to do is watch the motherfucking move. And then now he's fighting Oliver, fucking the guy that Sanctus did.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
Mike
honest
Alvarado.
with
Pacquiao,
y'all. I'm gonna be
Pac.
honest with you. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, sorry, bro.
No, I
No,
was
you
just
go
saying.
ahead.
I was just saying. I think we gonna be hoping that Bob Arum it feel like he getting old and he want to see some good fights and he don't think about business as much as he normally do because unless he go the route that Sanctus said earlier and he go after Keith Thurman to try to get some reward for his risk for the two belts in the top spot. I don't see that dude putting Terrence Crawford in there with them killers over there, man.
See, the
I
thing
don't.
is, the difference. I can understand why Manny Pacquiao. I mean, first of all, he generates a lot more money than Crawford or any PBC
That's
fighter.
true.
That's one reason why they still milking his ass.
Yeah.
for whatever he's worth. But two, Terrence Crawford has never been knocked out. He's never been knocked down. He's defensive. You can't land a high percentage of punches on him. He's younger. He's everything that Pacquiao really isn't, minus the hand speed and maybe a little bit of power. But other than that, he's three times the fighter that Manny Pacquiao is
I
Which
feel
means
you on that. I feel
you
in
you on
can't
that.
boxing.
afford for him to lose. They can't
But
afford for Crawford to lose yet.
See,
you could
that's what I'm thinking, Ty. Because like I think that Aram might take a chance if he still had that cash cow bringing
see,
that big money in. Like
It
right
makes
now,
but
he
Arum
at the
has
end of
never
that.
tried to promote Terrence Crawford like the next big star from the get go. I mean, he threw him,
Yeah, I feel,
he threw him to the curve, man, and jumped on Lomachenko's bandwagon.
yeah, I feel
And
you on. I
and
feel
this
you
is
on
what
that.
this is with Terrence Crawford winning freaking undisputed titles.
Yeah,
Man, there wasn't even barely a press conference, for the Ndango fight.
that's true.
What invest? He's not investing anything. You know what I'm saying? But he has freaking press conference for Mariaga.
See, but I was thinking this. I was thinking since he ain't got that Pacquiao money coming in, he might want to hold on tighter to his other investments like Lomachenko and Crawford. You know what I'm
agreed,
saying?
Trey.
He,
Yep. It
but
ain't
yeah,
hard to see how. Nope, sorry.
I don't know, man. I just don't see Bob investing really in Terrence Crawford.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I
only so
respect what
much
you're
money,
saying too, though, Sanchez.
only so
So I
much
mean,
money for so much promotion. You could
now
tell that they're moving Pacquiao a certain way to maximize most fights because all you got to do is take Terrence Crawford. That's a prime example. You look at the
I,
pattern.
I won't see
Fucking
I won't see Aram invest no real hard promotion on Terrence Crawford until he beats somebody like Keith
yeah,
Hell, I
Carlos.
don't see him putting no hard money, money into promotion for Lomachenko either. Hell, I didn't hardly even see no promotion for Lomachenko Rigondeaux
got to make the
until like,
money off them first. Got to make
He
the money off them first.
doesn't like Regan Diao.
No,
He
he
wasn't
don't.
gonna invest. He wasn't gonna invest anything that's gonna help that little dude make any money.
yeah,
But you look at Pacquiao, how they moved Pacquiao. So Terrence Crawford's down at 140 at one time. Pacquiao's at 147.
yeah,
Manny Pacquiao won't go down for Crawford at 140.
But he'll go down
So
from.
soon as he goes up, soon as so Crawford's here and Manny's here.
I already
As
know.
soon as
Are you
Manny
saying
won't,
that
as
they're playing
soon
hide and seek? They're
yeah,
they're
yeah.
playing
I'm going to explain it to you. Watch this. Crawford's here, or fucking Manny's here and Crawford's here. Okay. Crawford goes up, Manny goes down.
Yeah,
He couldn't go to 140 to fight Crawford. Oh, they had every excuse in the book. They don't fight at 140. As soon as Crawford goes up, well, fuck, we'll go to 140, maybe even 135. Fuck Lomachenko.
Oh,
Bing, bing,
wow.
bing, 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 bing. So there's no way that they're fucking not moving him that fucking way. Whatever
Oh,
Terrence Crawford does, if Terrence Crawford goes up, Manny suggests going down.
damn,
yeah.
Ty, man. You trying to light a fuse on the Lomachenko friggin' fanatics and the pack tarts. They're gonna come
Too
after you.
bad. If they can't
All right.
see patterns, they can't
Let me.
see patterns. It is what it is. You got to call that shit down the fucking middle.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me ask y'all this question, and this we just gonna keep it 100. Crawford is my man. I love Crawford as a fighter,
yeah.
and I respect that he's a unified champion at 140. But at the same time, in y'all opinion, has he been put in tough in his career?
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah.
I thought I
Because
thought his I thought his fight with Brady Prescott was very dangerous because at that time Brady Prescott still had a lot of steam on it. And I personally know Brady Prescott. He used to train in my gym. We used to talk.
Yeah, yeah,
But he went in there and he told me that he had no idea that Terrence Crawford was the fighter that he fought. Like that guy is the real deal,
Well,
and he
well,
was
I'm, a,
he
I'm, a,
he was he was confident he was gonna go in there and blow him out.
well, me, I'm a gambler. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, I like to gamble, and like I just look at the odds and stuff, and like Terrence Crawford had one fight that where the odds were kind of close, and that was with Postal. Everybody else, he'd have been a huge favorite. Like even in Dongo, he was an 8-1 favorite.
I thought the
You know
Postal
what I'm
fight was actually a tough fight. I mean, Postal man is
saying?
a.
Nah, that's I give him credit for that fight. I give that's his best win to me, even over Indongo. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
what's his name, the young dude that's gonna fight Postal next,
Uh,
Rages Pro.
Progress, yeah.
I think he's seriously underestimating Victor Postal. I think he's thinking because Crawford did him like that, that he just gonna walk in there, and do the same thing.
I think
Yeah.
Postal's the favorite in that fight. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? I
You
mean,
want to
but
know?
go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, Ty.
You want to know? See, I think Crawford's been matched tough because I don't think Ndongo got enough fucking credit and for who he was, and Polstol was really considered a nobody to a lot of people until after he lost to Crawford. And this is what I'm talking about, puzzle piece movement. And I'm not trying to deflect on another fighter or try to hate on another fighter, but I can't remember. I should have fucking Googled it because me and Sanctus talked about it. But Terrence Crawford and Lomachenko got two common opponents. So you, if Crawford's not matched tough,
You
then
said Crawford and Lomachenko have two common opponents.
yeah,
Mm,
I think so.
sure.
That's well, I seen that on a fucking video, so don't quote me on that. I fucking should Google it.
Nah, they don't. They don't have a common opponent.
They don't have a common opponent.
See, I had
Yeah.
I,
brought up that point about was he put in tough.
If they fought Ray Beltran, I think that would make their common opponent because I know that's a fight that they're talking about making.
okay,
Yeah,
so
see,
Because
I must
Walters,
have.
Mariaga, none of those fought.
Crawford.
Um, Jason Souza hasn't fought him. Rocky Martinez hasn't fought. Nah, he's never fought. They don't have a common. If
Yeah,
All
see,
somebody
right.
said that, I'm
I
not
brought
sure. I don't
I brought up that point to see if like is it any indication in Crawford's career with the type of opponents that he's had that he will face somebody like Thurman and Spence. You know what I'm saying? I could
Yeah,
be wrong, man. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he all right and he do fight him. I just personally can't see it, but I hope I'm pleasantly
I
surprised.
just say if Top Rank is ever gonna try to, I mean, unless they just want to go WBO title for life and shit, which they do have a freaking monopoly on,
Yeah, yeah,
apparently. But
yeah,
I don't think Crawford is man of that cloth, man. I think he's just gonna demand it. He's gonna say foolish shit that's gonna actually contradict whatever plans Aram has, and people gonna know that he really wants these fights. He's asking for it, and he's gonna
yeah,
make Top Rank look like shit. He Crawford doesn't come across as a Manny Pacquiao, company man type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I feel you on that.
yeah,
I think he knows that he that boxing, has his limits, and he's looking to make a legacy that
Yeah,
might be unrivaled. You know what I'm saying? Or at least he's
yeah,
gonna try to attempt it. I don't see
yeah,
him doing the Pacquiao, wiggling his way around, fucking, weight. What are you talking about?
catch what
Catch
I
weights and
did.
shit like that. And I don't see that from him. I seriously, hopefully I don't get proven wrong, because with these fighters you never know what move swings they have.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just see that he really wants legacy, man.
I agree with you, man. I see that in Crawford.
I never seen Crawford, even though if he's the A side or he's making a little bit more money than the next guy, say, "Oh, that guy brings nothing to the table. I don't have to fight him."
Yeah, yes,
He
sir.
could
That's
have
a good
he
point.
could have done that with Ndongo.
That's a good point.
He's never said, "Hey, the Gamboa, he's washed up. He's a little dude. He don't bring nothing to the table. He's been retired 2 years. He could come up with a million and one excuses not to fight certain guy. He didn't have to fight Postal.
But I'm
no,
not worried about Crawford. I'm just worried about Aaron, man.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
man. They have some dumb shit. So I mean, what you're saying, it isn't, out of the realm of possibility. We just hope that Crawford's willingness to secure legacy, it's gonna undermine any dumb shit that Arum and his little cronies are trying to do.
Yeah.
And hopefully, because man, these motherfuckers are getting away with too much shit.
And you know
Yeah.
what?
Like yeah,
Maybe the
supposedly Jeff
fact.
Horn, the first thing he does is he calls out Earl Spence. I want to fight Keith Thurman. Earl Spence, man. Then he fights like two bums and shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I think you made a good point though when you said that Aram hasn't really put a lot of money into Crawford. So his risk ain't as high because he hasn't invested a lot. He didn't kept the cost low. So
Right.
he ain't got a lot to lose if he put Crawford in there with Earl Spence. So
But he
I,
has so much to win if
yeah,
actually Crawford man beats them. I'm talking about
yeah,
that means he takes all the belts and he'll find and sign welterweights just so they can compete for those belts.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he'll attract a welterweights from or maybe go and do business with Eddie Hearns and keep those fights between their fighters. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worth him losing that monopoly he has over the WBO?
yeah, because there's more to gain. I mean, it's more to gain.
Yeah, I
That means
respect.
he gets to manipulate more. He gets to finally manipulate the WBC.
Yeah,
Get him to work how he wants to. Hey, we got the title. You can't take it from us unless we're not active, unless we test positive or some shit.
yeah.
Other than that, how's the WBC gonna try to strip Crawford?
And then
Yeah.
another thing, I don't see Crawford going to 154 no time soon if he ever does. So if he is to get the all three belts, they'll have a monopoly over all of those belts for a long time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. And so I mean, the risk outweigh. I mean, the reward outweighs the risk.
Yeah, I
Crawford
believe.
being a young guy, he loses. He might bounce back. Depending on how he loses.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but Crawford is actually a lot more experienced than Earl Spence.
yeah,
Has more dimensions to his game so far, so far. But
yeah.
Earl's limit right now, is on another level. He has no limitations or very little limitations to improve and improve rapidly. That's the scary part about Earl Spence is how rapidly he's improving. On a fight by fight basis,
Yeah.
See,
basically. And
Crawford started fighting when he was like 6 or 7 years old, and Earl started fighting when he was like 15. A lot of people be thinking that don't mean shit, but it really does. So
Experience is experience.
and that muscle memory, and then you got something. Your nerves are connected with something called axons, and then you get something called a myelin sheath that goes over the axons as you become more efficient at something. All of that shit counts, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why Crawford scares me as an opponent for Spence, even though I do want to see the fight. But I'm more concerned about Crawford than even Thurman. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Me too. I mean, like I said, I mean, to me, Keith Thurman, I favored him over Earl Spence. The way he's talking, uh, doesn't really convince me. I don't know if he's doing it, if it's a paper or role they asked him to play, or he came up with himself, talking to his wife, fucking eating fucking sushi or whatever the fuck they eat. But it just, his demeanor, man, it doesn't seem like a guy who's really coming back to conquer or hey, like that attitude, like when Floyd, you little fuckers thought you guys were number one because I got locked up and I was away a year, and yeah, all you and they giving you number one fighter, number two. I'm gonna take all that shit back.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that. Like when Mike Tyson came out of jail, boy, I put somebody in the way I'm gonna fucking smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson just came out of jail like wanted to kill the bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beast
Give a fuck
mode.
who it was.
Yeah.
My
You don't
my
get that
bad
from
too.
Keith Thurman.
My
Keith Thurman,
bad too, boys. My
huh?
bad too. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm just clarifying myself. I don't know why I threw Lomachenko in there when I was talking about the common opponents. I was trying to fucking prove a point, but that's my bad because yeah, I'm talking about two guys in two different weight classes. I'm gonna have to get thrown in the bus with the fucking guys that do the aerial views for fucking Wilder and Ortiz. Wow.
No, man,
My
it's
bad,
cool.
my bad. I don't even know why I had Lomachenko in my fucking head.
Hey,
Don't.
if we all were said it, we're perfect and said everything 100%, we wouldn't be talking this chat. We'd be working with one of these networks.
Because I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
but
honest. I'm gonna
I
be
gotta
honest
keep it
with
to
you.
fucking weight divisions though,
Because
man. That's fucking
if
I'm
I
gonna
my
was
be
the
bad
honest.
for
next
cutting you off.
Lamley, that dude would end up in the hospital. Somebody will break his legs.
Well, I just fucking was talking like him, so fucking. But I was thinking of the fucking. I can't even remember his name, and then I was thinking Lomachenko, but
Hey,
yeah,
speaking of
Hey,
Wilder, remember we were talking about how Wilder had to implement feints in his game, right? This is before I saw a video with E King Fight News or whatever his name.
yeah, I
yeah,
think
Yeah.
yeah.
And you seen how Wilder was feigning with the right hand, coming with the left hook, feigning with the right
Yeah,
hand, coming with the left hook. And I'm like, that's exactly what he needs to do, but he needs to vary it a little bit more,
yeah,
yeah,
you know. But the fact that they're doing something that I've been saying for weeks or months that he needed to implement in his game against a guy who's sitting, it's like a pitcher, a fastball pitcher, against a home run hitter. The home run hitter just sitting on that fastball, man, right down the middle.
yeah,
yeah,
But if you fuck around and you throw a changeup and shit here and there on the motherfucker, he can't get your timing.
yeah,
And that's what he has to do with Luis Ortiz because Ortiz, almost every opponent that he's hurt or dropped, he's done it with a left hand counter over a right hand.
yeah,
The March, he threw a right hand, Ortiz countered his ass over the top, dropped it. Brian Jennings, Dave Allen, Latif Coyote, all these, he's done it, bro, with the left hand over the right hand. And yeah,
yeah,
Wilder hits harder and he throws faster, but it's not about that. It's about timing. Will his punch hit Ortiz before Ortiz hits him? You
yeah.
know, with timing.
You
It's
know
not
what?
about
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
yeah.
gonna be honest. I just found out that Ortiz was 349 and 16 as an amateur. I did not know that. And when I learned that, that kind of started making me feel like that Wilder might be the fucking underdog in the fight.
He actually should be if he's 3-6 has 16 losses, he actually should be like 313 or not 313, like 310 or 311. Because if you watch some of Ortiz's amateur fights, especially against the Russians, man, that dude got robbed bloody. I've watched,
Weidler's the underdog to
in my
me,
opinion,
man.
he's the underdog, but
As an
popularity.
unbiased fan that calls it down the middle, I ain't gonna always say the most popular thing. I'm rooting for fucking Wilder, but like I told you, I gotta separate that fucking emotion from that logic, stylistically and skill wise and everything else, man. When I look at both fucking fighters and I try to fill in the holes, okay, how can he offset this guy and how
Have
can
you have
the
you
other
guys
one
have you guys
offset him? He's the
have you guys
underdog to me, man.
Yeah, have you guys even seen that E King video with the where he's hitting the mitts Ortiz?
No.
Man,
Yeah.
his hands are looking sharp, crispy, and they got a little speed to him. I'm talking about he's throwing combinations like he's a freaking lightweight, light heavyweight.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been talking shit leading up to the fight, but once I went back and did some research, I've been quiet as a motherfucker. I just want to see it.
See,
Yeah.
Wilder has the explosiveness factor, and will that be enough, to blast out a guy who with that much experience?
Yeah, if you're thinking objectively,
I'm
man, if you
I'm
take both
I'm
things
telling
out the
you,
picture,
Wilder needs to jump on Ortiz early and
Early, man.
but not
yeah,
when I say jump on him, I don't mean like run like he did versus Tavern when he had the dude banged up and shit like he about to tackle the motherfucker. But you gotta
yeah,
attack, but attack intelligently, but keep that pressure on early. The more he waits and he jostles around the ring and looking for position,
He
the
can't
more
play
time that's
chess,
gonna
man.
yeah.
no,
He can't play chess with the man, dog.
Yeah. I
he
mean,
can in spots because that's what you do to be safe, but he can't. Like he got to use that jab and he got to fight like a tall guy got to fight. He got to use that length and keep that distance. He got to keep that, like that's what I was telling you guys earlier. You utilize your fucking strengths. You don't throw them out the window. He got to utilize that strength. And what worries about me about that too is fucking Wilder's not a body puncher from what I seen.
Oh
Nah, he
no.
doesn't really. I mean, it would be in his favor, man, to actually test Ortiz in the body, but it's the technique, the technique he uses, man. I mean, when he throws, he gets low as fuck to throw a body shot. You're too tall,
Yeah,
man, to throw a body shot. I seen him throw a body shot at, I believe it was Stavern or was it Molina? I don't remember. But he got low, man. Like he's fucking like a midget, man. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? To throw a
yeah,
body shot, you don't have to get that low being a big man, you know?
yeah. You know why I
So
give Wilder somewhat of a chance? The momentum. Momentum means a lot. He got a lot of momentum on the side.
oh,
It might be a little
Wilder,
bit of wishful thinking on my part, but he got the momentum. You know what I mean?
Wilder
But
has a shot.
objectively,
Wilder, yeah, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that Wilder has a shot while he's on his feet. That
yeah,
motherfucker is dangerous. Even if he's even if he's about to go down and he just throws some crazy shit and you coming in to try to knock his ass out and finish him off, and he hits you, it's gonna be you on the ground. And he gonna be like, "What the fuck I just did?"
yeah.
Okay, let me
From
ask
a
y'all this
boxing
question.
perspective, you're up there. Yep. Go ahead, Drake.
Do y'all think that Wilder's temperament is an asset or a liability? Because I like his confidence, but for the fact that he don't have nowhere near the skills or the amateur pedigree as Ortiz, could that be like some overconfidence and actually hurt him?
I think he has to fight how he's fought every single fight from the day he became a pro. To change anything drastically right now is actually gonna hurt him. So if he's overconfident, it's better being overconfident than being overly cautious. Overly caution right now with versus Ortiz is actually gonna hurt him more.
Yeah.
He might get knocked. He might get knocked out, knocked the fuck out smooth, being aggressive. But guess what? The the chances of you getting knocked out smooth by fucking not being aggressive
Yeah.
is just
Yep.
so
Yep.
stick with what you know, but use better technique. You know what I'm saying?
Because if
Yeah.
you look at Wilder,
Be more, yeah, be more defensively responsible. Get your hands up in spots. You don't have to keep fighting the guy with your hands down near by your fucking waist every fucking time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with Wilder, he's not fundamentally sound. That's no big secret. But if you watch his fights, when he's really not fundamentally sound, is usually when a guy hurts. Get when he has a guy hurt. So that's why I think Trey made a good point because he said because his temperament gets him in trouble sometimes. Because if you watch when he gets a guy hurt, instead of picking and placing his shots and doing the same things, like when you finish a guy, you do the same steps that fucking led you there and you pick them apart. And that's usually when Wilder's at his worst fundamentally because that's when he goes fucking crazy. So I think his temperament and that he can't have that type of fucking temperament where he doesn't cease the moment and he throws it away. But I like his temperament, how he approaches the fight with the confidence like that. Fucking press conference today, he was fucking lit. Like I like that because I'm a guy you got to show me, and if you show me, then fair enough. And I didn't think he was going to get Stavern out of there in the first round or even knock him out like he said, and he fucking did that shit. So his temperament is like a double-edged sword. Like it's
Yeah.
bad when he gets a guy hurt. That's when he's fucking all over the fucking place because instead of picking them apart,
If
but
I
his
was,
temperament before the fight, prior to the fight, is good. It's what you do in the fucking ring, and he got to fucking if he buzzes fucking Ortiz, he
Stick
got to
to
fucking
the
place that shit. He
yeah.
got to finish properly. He got to be. That's his worst asset to me. Is he does
to
it's
be
his
honest,
finishing.
to be honest with you, if I was Ortiz's trainer, I would have actually worked on some things in camp on how to play possum.
Yeah,
Do like some type of rope a dope. To get Deontay Wilder to run in all berserker and shit and wild as fuck.
yeah,
I'd actually, you know, not fake, but I try to like play a little bit, go a little bit Hollywood on him and act like you hurt really in one of his shots. And try
Yeah,
to see if he'll bite it, if he'll take the bait, and come in crazy and just as soon as he starts stepping coming in, bro, you throwing that left hand right there to meet his ass halfway. But I would actually do that shit on purpose in
yeah,
occasions and feign like, oh shit, you got me killed. Oh, and when he comes out winding up, ah, catch his
yeah.
ass coming in.
And I would add to that, even if he didn't do that, I think it would still be smart for Ortiz to give up a little ground and make Wilder come to him
Take a
instead
step
of
back.
trying to, yeah, instead of going to Wilder trying to get through that jab. Cause that's gonna be rough, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean, from the things that I've been seeing, and I'm detecting in Ortiz's little clips and videos. I'm not saying that this is exactly how they're gonna come out and fight. I'm just saying that don't be surprised that if he tries to if he actually confuses Wilder and starts actually using lateral movement and fighting off the back foot just to see how Wilder is gonna actually approach it.
Yeah.
I've been seeing him, stepping around, pivoting under, and doing things like that, in his
whew,
little clip videos.
this
So
mother
I wouldn't be surprised if Ortiz came and actually started fighting in the back for you.
I
yeah,
think the approach that see like to touch on Sanctus' point, like how you said like sandbagging them, like you know what I mean, giving them a false security.
yeah.
What I would do is I wouldn't go the route of pretending I'm hurt because the thing is Wilder does that is when Wilder's at his worst.
And I don't want
But
the judges getting confused either.
You know,
and if you look at Wilder's history, yes, he gets unfundamentally sound when he has you hurt.
But he
But there've been
rumbles on
fucking there've been 38 fucking dudes where he got unfundamentally sound that got knocked out. So I think an approach to that would be the same idea of what Sanctus said, but instead of acting like you're hurt, give him a false security, such as give him a little bit more respect than you really feel like you have to give him. That
yeah,
gives Wilder a false sense of security. Then he
yeah,
starts getting a little bit comfortable because Wilder just don't do it when he got you hurt. Wilder does it when he thinks you respect him. So to me, it'd be more safer to give him a little bit more respect than you generally would. Get him out of that fucking rhythm if he has a good rhythm fundamentally, and then get him. Because if you pretend like you're hurt, Sanctus, I agree with him 100%. Ortiz can get him out of there, but there's been fucking 38 or whatever fucking fighters he had before where he had them hurt and he was unfundamentally sound and he knocked them the fuck out. So I wouldn't trust the odds on that personally. I'd give him a little bit more respect. I'd give him a false sense of security, thinking, okay, I got this respect now. I'm going to go fucking hurt and get him out of there and
yeah.
then catch him. Because if you play like you're hurt with Wilder, you might get him. But to me, it's too much of a gamble because I seen that motherfucker swing like he's fucking worse than the Street Fighter, but he got him out of there. But they weren't Ortiz either. So that's what I would do if it
But
was me.
let me ask y'all this question. Like I was watching, like I don't know what the hell I was watching, but I saw like some clips and stuff of Ortiz as an amateur, and he actually looked more crisp back then. I guess because he was younger, you know what I'm saying. So he might not have the same reaction time as he did back then because he's a little older. Do y'all think that he's gonna have the reflexes to counter Wilder, and how much of an effect of him not being on his blood pressure medication might come into play?
Sanctus, I'm letting you go first because I'll be going on a rant.
oh yeah, let me take the hard one. Yeah, there you go. Wait a man up. Okay, what part you want me to answer first?
Shit, do you think he'll have the reflexes to counter?
Um,
Because he older, you know, he like on the clips that I saw,
well,
he looked
he's
superhuman.
definitely not gonna have those reflexes, for obvious reasons. But I mean, to counter, you don't have to have, you know, you have to have timing. You could start. It all depends. It depends on how Wilder is punching, how straight his punches are. Um, he might loop punches. He might throw them straight. You know, a lot. It takes there's a lot to counter punching. You know,
Okay, let me ask
and
you this. Let me ask you this real quick,
trajectory of
Sam.
the punch, you know, means a lot.
Let me ask you this real quick, brother. How would Ortiz do against the Wilder that fought Stavern the first time?
I think
You
he'd do
think
good.
you
I
think he
think
could
he'd
beat that
do.
Wilder?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
I think actually, you know, what made Wilder a little bit more dangerous to me was, you know, how he was throwing his jab in the second fight with Stavern. Even though it was a immobile guy, he was throwing it with the intention to actually throw the one to throw the two right behind it. You know, it wasn't being and a big old Lubin, you know. He threw
Yeah.
right down the middle. Boom. And that
Yeah.
and that that's a combination that's very hard to defend, you know, unless
But
you're at the
say
right
this.
distance.
I'm gonna say this. If Ortiz can beat the Wilder that beats Stavern the first time, Wilder might be in trouble.
I think
Because
he
I felt
can.
like Wilder I think Wilder relied on his jab a lot in that first fight. Like I like the approach that he took to the fight.
See,
You know what I'm saying? Like
the thing is with
uh,
Stavern, man. Stavern for a heavyweight man, he only has like what a 77, 80 inch reach, man. You know, so Wilder was getting away with a lot of, you know, things that because the guy just simply just wasn't cutting the distance, you know, to land anything on him.
yeah, that's true. Because Ortiz got an 84-inch reach.
Yeah, so Ortiz, he might, you know, he got good feet for a guy his age. You know, he's not exactly freaking Golovkin or you know Mike Tyson cutting off the ring or anything like that. But his reach compensates for his mobility. You know, at times when he's you know drags his feet and you know doesn't have the best. You know, like he has like heavy feet. You know, at times when he wants to.
Uh, Well, that besides the last fight, I know that was a wipeout, but I felt like that the Wilder Stavern one was his best performance that he ever had in the ring. So that's why I
Yeah,
say if Ortiz can beat that version of him, Wilder might be in trouble.
and you know it's the Stavern. It's really to be honest with you, Stavern was so disappointing in both fights. You know, you know Wilder looked good against Stavern because Stavern just he doesn't have a high level of boxing IQ. He simply doesn't. You know, he's a big, strong ass dude. You know, and he, how did he become champion? Beating the crap out of a battered and semi punch drunk Chris Ariola.
Yeah,
You know, who hasn't really put hands on Ariola? Fucking Fred Cassie was beating his ass. What's his
yeah.
name? The bald headed white homeboy. What's it?
I'm going to weigh in on that, Trey.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, man.
So your question was, do I think Ortiz is going to have the reflexes to implement what he needs to do on Wadler?
Yeah,
And my answer to that is yes, because the reason why my answer to that is yes,
yeah,
because he's in his previous fights, he has on a lot more fundamental sound guys than Wadler. Because I'll tell you guys my opinion. If I see motherfuckers online going on about Ortiz's age, I'm off. Because I'm going to tell you why. I don't give a fuck if Ortiz is 410. Ortiz has shown fucking nothing but from his previous fights as up
410.
to now
You think he
that
learned
he's
another trade?
that he's at a world class level. That's what he's shown me in the ring. He's at a world class level. He's been showing that his age isn't a fucking factor to fight at a world class level because he's been stopping motherfuckers. So
yeah,
if I seen an issue of his age, then I'd say he's too old. But he hasn't shown me that. So motherfuckers better not come to me on Sunday if Wilder wins and says it was age. So all
yeah,
of a sudden, if he fights Wilder, age is an issue. But he hasn't been shown a decline. He's been showing me nothing but he could fight at a world class level. So to me, I don't even want to hear no fucking age fucking excuses. If he was declining, then I would say it. So what motherfuckers gonna tell me it's about age. If he loses, then motherfuckers are telling me in the next 2 days he's gonna go from a world class boxer to a fucking not a world class boxer that was too old. No, I ain't doing that. Don't
I respect that.
no fucking
Okay,
way.
to go on the blood pressure medicine, it would be, beyond speculation because we never know. We don't really know if he was on those medications when he fought anybody else,
Okay, I
or
respect
he,
that, but okay,
or
I
he was,
respect that.
yeah, or he was off of them. That
Okay, I
came out of
respect that, but
nowhere.
look, but let's look at some past examples of people that done got off the roids. And how
Right.
did what I'm saying? Like how did they perform? Like you remember when Pacquiao was getting accused, and he seemed to clean up. He turned into another fighter. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, is it a chance that that could happen with Ortiz?
I don't think Pacquiao turned into another fighter.
Well, not another fighter, but he wasn't exactly the Pacquiao that fought Cotto. You know what I'm saying?
Cotto, see, what a lot of people be like, oh, good, he must have been on. I'm not saying you saying it, but I hear, I read comments, well, because, he did that because Cotto was dehydrated, because Cotto, he was on the roids. Cotto was getting his ass dropped when he was at 140 and shit by a bunch of dudes.
Well, I'm really not
Devontae,
looking at Cotto. I'm looking at what Pacquiao did in the
right,
fight.
right, right. Yeah, he went through Cotto. Who he fought after Cotto?
That when he started fighting Margarito and all of those dudes,
He fucked Margarito.
Joshua Clottey, all them dudes.
Claudia went into a turtle shell and never came out of it. That
But,
motherfucker he take a shower in that same position.
but I'm just saying, I'm just like you got
Uh,
what you got what's called
you're
mirror
not gonna
neuron.
knock Claudia out. Nobody has ever knocked out Joshua Claudia. That dude is a fucking tank, man. So I mean, I didn't expect. I actually thought that if Claudia threw like fucking 10 more punches, he would have fucked Pacquiao up.
Yeah, he should have stayed with that uppercut.
Man, he will
His steps
fucking dummy. Man, you didn't see Pacquiao's face after the fight. You got man, I knew he was starting to get lumped the fuck up, and that man, Claudia was. I don't know. I thought he threw the fight. My personal opinion, but
In
I
my
know a lot
opinion,
of
Pacquiao started looking more normal when he fought like I think Shane Mosley, if I'm not mistaken.
man. He touched Shane Mosley every time he touched Shane. Man, he hurt him. I never seen nobody hit Shane like that.
I don't. It might have been. I don't know if it was that fight or not where I started
That's what
feeling like.
Shane. Well, Shane Mosley came out in an interview talking about. Yeah, every time he hit me, he hurt me.
Yeah,
And we're talking
I'm
about
talking
Shane that got hit
about
by
power though. I'm
Canelo.
talking about like that fight that he had. Them fights. I keep on going back to the Cotto fight because that's one of my favorite fights. You know
Man,
what
that
I'm
was a
saying?
badass fight. That was a badass performance.
Yeah, it's like especially that second round, man. That shit was amazing to watch. But it's like the pace that he was fighting at. You know what I'm saying? Like my mirror neurons was getting tired just watching the motherfucker. Like he was doing
Yeah,
all
that
this different shit.
motherfucker's he's all over the goddamn place. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie
he
to
was
you.
fitting them punches in some spots where you wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? I was just saying like he seemed to lose that once the steroid allegations started. It seemed like he kind of came to earth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I saw, but I could be wrong.
No, no. I mean, if look, there's a saying that if you look for something, you're gonna find something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But like I said, I mean, I wasn't, I didn't get on. I could, not that I wanted to or didn't want to. It's that the fact that Cotto was getting his ass dropped by Chop Chop at 140. Torres, Ricardo Torres was fucking hurting his ass bad at 140. Who else hurt him at that weight class? There were several other people there that hurt him.
So your argument is he was just put in with the right guys at the
I,
right.
I always thought that Cotto, was susceptible, you know what I'm saying, to be hurt.
Yeah.
The- And it's not that Cotto gets hit in the chin because actually Cotto has good chin. It's when he gets hit towards the temple area or the his, frontal orbital, whatever. He just
Yeah.
loses equilibrium and shit. It's something like Jerry Cooney. Even Larry Holmes will tell you, Jerry Cooney had a great chin. It's when you hit his ass on the top of the head that his ass just fell apart. I
Yeah,
think Cotto is that type of guy. You might hit him flush on the chin, and he'll take a shot like that. But if you hit his ass on the top of the head,
yeah,
he loses his back. Gamboa is another dude. It's some
yeah.
guys, man. Their their nervous system or something like that. It has to do with the cranium. You know, the shock, the equilibrium. For some reason, with them, it's just they lose their equilibrium a lot easier than certain other fighters that they get hit in the head and they just it's nothing. They just keep on going.
Hey, let
Some
me tell
fighters,
you, man.
yeah,
Like the whole time I boxed, I never got dropped. I never got dropped in the ring, ever sparring, none of that shit. I got dropped in a street fight one time. Motherfucker hit me in my temple, and the shit sounded like thunder and lightning or some shit, man. And I went down to a fucking knee. I jumped right back up fighting like a motherfucker, but say that temple ain't no joke.
yeah, man. The tempo is a knockout zone. I mean, it's a knockout target.
Yeah.
The neck is another shot, man. You hit somebody in the fucking neck, you fuck them up. I like punching motherfuckers in their neck. Fuck the chin. I got more to hit in the neck than the fucking chin. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you remember when Danny Garcia hit Mir Khan in the neck, right?
Yeah, man. You fuck a dude up like that, man. I mean, shit. I tell him, hey, from the shoulder, from the top of the shoulder, man, all that is game. I don't give a fuck where you hit him. Forget about the chin. You chase the chin too much and shit. A guy's gonna use it against you. Hit him.
Oh,
Go for the neck. If the chin is in the way, then fuck it.
yeah.
You hit a guy where it's gonna hurt, man. It don't stop. Stop trying to be such a like a freaking sniper and always look for one spot.
Yeah.
Very hard to beat somebody like that. So you think guys, man, how to hit the neck, hit the freaking collarbone. Man, when I spar and I get mad and shit, I be trying to break motherfuckers' collarbones, man.
Yeah.
They throw a right hand. I'm counting your right hand right inside where your collarbone is at. Bond, it hit you right there, just so your ass don't throw it again. But that's boxing, man. I mean, nowadays, I don't know. You don't see guys doing it. So a bunch of those stuff. They do it. Fans start complaining. "Hey, he's a dirty fighter." What the fuck? Give a fuck. It's a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salito was so dirty. He had no motherfucking balls. Why the fuck he hit him back?
That's what I said.
Motherfucker, you gonna hit, bro? Man, I sparred with dudes like that, bro. I'm talking about it turned into real fights. We took out the glove and faded. Fuck that, man. You ain't gonna fuck them, shit. I got bitches to go fuck, man. I need my shit, man. But it's like fans just these days are soft as fuck, man. They act like they never seen two people fight.
Yeah.
They get mad if they don't see an element of a fight, and then they say, "Oh, it's a boring and it's a pussy sport." But then as soon as they see any element of a fight, they complain, and then they get politically correct and say it's dirty. Like, you know what I mean? There's a limit. You can't be smashing and elbowing people and shit. But I mean, it's the same as Andre Ward. Oh, he's fighting dirty, motherfucker. I just seen you last week complaining that motherfuckers. You were probably one of the motherfuckers booing because they were trying to work and be patient and fucking get each other's rhythm down, and you were complaining that you weren't seeing the fight. But then as soon as you see an element of a fight, then you whine about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But see, if we got these fans that were complaining about like Salito fucking hitting Loma low, everything like and fighting dirty and coming in with his head and all type of shit. If you recall the fight with Diego Chavez and Keith Thurman, Diego Chavez was fucking dirty as fuck. He was trying to break fucking Thurman's arm in the clinch, flexing him. You know what I'm saying? Putting his hand behind the elbow and twisting and shit and trying to do shit, right?
Yeah.
Punching in the hips, all type of shit. What the fuck happened? Keith Thurman still knocked his ass out.
That's an old school trick right there too, hitting the motherfucker in the hip. You want to make him be
Yeah.
still, pound them hips.
So, I
And the
mean,
dude,
what the
Rip
fuck?
them
I mean,
artery area.
oh, Bernard Hopkins is an expert at doing that shit,
Man,
and he was teaching that to Danny Garcia. Because if you look at the Matisse fight, Danny Garcia got away with a whole lot of low blows, but he was hitting fucking Matisse in the hip hard as fuck.
Yeah. And
Canelo was Canelo
a
was doing
person
shit to Lara. It's
a
tricks.
person can't be a person can't be mentally perfect each time because you are in a fucking fight.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna react how you would in a fight. Like Sanctus is a big dude, man. If Sanctus is whooping on me, man, I'm fucking kneeing seats. I'm giving him a knee in the fucking knee. Like, you know what I mean? Like if I might
170s.
what?
Sanctus said he in the 170s.
Oh,
178.
are
Yeah.
you sick?
Yeah, I'm a little bit overweight, but I'll drop that shit off in a week.
Oh, I ain't judging. I'm up like 170 pounds, and that's big for me, man.
Nah, man, I ain't gonna drop shit anytime soon, man. I'm just too damn lazy these days.
Yeah.
But I, I was thinking about just going in and get some work in, and with Gamboa's trainer. I met him. He's pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
Pedro Roque. He's
Sanctus
training.
get the hookup.
He's training Gamboa to fight. What's his name? The guy that just beat Jasriel Corrales,
Oh,
Albert
fuck.
Machado. Albert Machado. He's actually in Lomachenko's weight class, the Puerto Rican dude.
I
Right. Golden Boy's trying to set up a fight with Gamboa and that guy. So this trainer, he's working with Gamboa.
fuck
Uh,
Sanctus got the fucking he got the fucking prime fucking sparring, man. He got the hookups.
and
Yeah.
I got a friend of mine who's actually training with him right now, and he I've gone over there to the gym, and I've done little light workouts and shit. But man, I just these dudes start running, man. I start running to go get me a fucking cup of coffee and shit, and watch. And I watch them run and be like, "You want to run? Shit, fuck that."
Trey, when you gonna get some work in with Spence, buds? You right down there in Texas. Take the work.
Oh,
You know what? It's gonna sound retarded as fuck, but I really would like the Spark fence.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
I know I
Just
get my
make
ass
sure,
kicked.
man, you don't eat nothing. You don't eat something solid, man, and eat some peanut butter.
I'm definitely telling Spence I want control sparring. I'm admitting on it on social fucking media. If I was this, I would put the work in because you would learn. But I'll be saying, motherfucker, we doing control sparring because you ain't busting my ass up. You ain't breaking my fucking ribs and shit. No fucking way,
Yeah,
man.
I would tell him to go hard because I want to see how it is. Like I want to see how it is to be in front of that shit.
I'm gonna tell
Hard
you
for
right
3 minutes
now,
though. For 3 minutes.
As long as I can take it. I might surprise him and pop his ass with some shit. I ain't no slouch my goddamn self.
I'm gonna
I
tell you
ain't
straight
saying
up.
you're.
Hey,
I
I
know
was
I
far
can't whoop
fucking.
him, but I ain't gonna be scared, Ty.
If
Scared
I
money
was
don't
fucking,
win, baby.
if I was as far as Spence and he hit me one of them body shots, I swear to God, boy, fucking Derrick James and fucking Jermell Charlo are gonna have to jump me, boy, because it's gonna be on, boy. I'm gonna bite his ass. I'm gonna kick his ass in the
You know what?
kneecap.
I've been blessed in boxing because I ain't never been hurt by a body shot. I done been hit with some body shots that got the crowd going ooh and shit like that, but I ain't never been hurt by one. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I done been
I've
lucky.
been I sparred this Cuban heavyweight. I forgot his name. His name is Eliseo Castillo. But he has a brother, and they both have a similar fucking name, so I don't know which one is which. He was a softball. He wanted to fight Lennox Lewis one time after a fight, and Lennox Lewis was actually commentating on his fight, and then the other commentator asked Lennox, "Hey, what did he say?" I don't know, but he's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Eliseo, or something like that, Castillo. We were sparring one time. He hit me with a fucking left. Oh man, right under the liver. Shit,
Yeah.
man, that motherfucker hits hard as fuck. Right? I went.
Yeah.
Nigga, like, you okay? Trying to walk that shit off, and shit took me like about fucking 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I got hit with a body shot, man, from a guy down here. Did pretty good for himself. He only had 10 amateur fights, but he's a
Man,
pro boxer, man. And my fucking win, it just like left my body with no warning. It would just,
see,
whew.
and
It
that's
didn't hurt, but it just like my oxygen just was like, fuck it, whoop, and just fucking that was it.
and
That
that's
was
why
my experience with it.
That's
But
why
I
I
ain't at the level. I ain't at the level you guys at. Like, I also admit that. Like I said, blue collar boxing, right? Like, I only got 4 fights in, but yeah, man, that was my experience with the body shot. Like, my fucking wind didn't want, my oxygen didn't want nothing to do with my body. It just was like, I'm out of here, motherfucker.
that's why when I read comments and shit, that Keith Thurman doesn't like body shots. I'm like, there's not a fucking fighter in the world that fucking likes
No,
him. Nobody, there's not a fighter that lifts his hand up. Yeah, hit me with a liver shot. Yeah, nobody
no,
likes him. They hurt. And when this dude hit me, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I stayed immobile. I didn't fucking move. I couldn't even move right or left and shit. I just stood there like a fucking
yeah,
wounded duck. Boom. And I just like looking at the guy, he just stopped me. If he would have threw another combination, he would have fucked me up.
But you
your
know what?
body was. Go ahead, Drake.
I was just saying I ain't never been in there with a body snatcher either. Like most of the guys I've been there, it's been head hunting all day. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Oh,
your
you
body don't
remember?
got. Your body got vital organs, eh? And that shit wasn't made to be hit.
Yeah.
See, them Cuban fighters, man. I'm gonna tell you something about them. They throw like a sneaky ass motherfucking left to the liver, bro. Especially as a southpaw, because I don't know if you remember one of Rigo's fights where it was one of his first fights, and it's on YouTube and all his highlights where the dude throws a right hand and he chopped him and shit, and the dude fell over. Bah.
Yeah,
That's exactly how that guy threw the left hand. It was almost more like it seemed like the guy like trying to slap you with the shit with the body shot. It's like they throw it like it's like they're hitting a tennis ball or like a ping pong ball. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know that ping pong shit, that little stroke when you hit a ping
yeah.
pong. Exactly how they throw that fucking shot.
Snap
And
it.
bro, you don't see it, because they do like little feints with their hands. They'll, lift their hand up, right, and boom. At the same time they're lifting up, they throw that shot.
Yeah,
So they distract your eye, your sight with the hand, with the right hand or the off hand, and then they come under. Man, it's tough. It was tough. It was tough sparring that dude. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie, boy. Yeah, he took me to school, but he's a heavyweight. I'm not fucking
Yeah.
heavyweight by any
Yeah.
means,
That
but
count too.
I just said, nah, fuck it. I wanted to see what that work will feel like.
Yeah.
Well, I found
Yeah.
out hella quick, boy. Never sparred his ass again.
Yeah.
It's what Ty's saying, man. There's weights and there's height and for a reason, man. It,
I'm a firm believer.
there's weights for a reason, man. It was we were just fucking around, moving around. We throw pretty decent punches at each other, but you know, in a real fight, bro, that dude would fucking he just annihilate me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The guy
Yeah,
just too fucking big. Yeah, I would hit him with some good shot. He'd be like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm a pretty good hitter. I got a pretty good punch, but that shit wasn't fading that dude. I know when I hurt a motherfucker, that shit ain't.
Yeah.
The dude
how
would
many
just pull.
fights did you say you had, Trey?
Shit, I had 23 altogether. 121 of them.
Respect,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
because I only got a couple and I know what that shit consists of. That's fucking respect, man.
Already. Well, it should have been a lot more than that, you know what I'm saying? But, I had a lot of shit going on off in life, getting in trouble and getting arrested and getting girls pregnant and all kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm proud of what I did, whenever I'm sitting up and I'm by myself and I ain't got much to do, I got some good memories I can look back on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Me coming
yeah,
up, bro.
So
I
for what
never really, I never wanted to be a boxer. My mom was pushing me into boxing. My dad wanted me to play baseball, and that's baseball took over my life. During junior high and high school, and I just whatever was what I was gonna do with boxing, I just let it go. And like Trey saying, man, you get distracted. I got
yeah,
distracted. I wanted to be fucking a hustler. I wanted to be into the street life. I liked that shit.
yeah,
I got caught up just doing stupid shit as a kid, and you learn, you live and you learn. But
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, one of the worst things that happened to me though is I had a bad tear in my left and one of my hip flexor muscles on my left side from running. You know them strength shoes? They got that big bottom that you run in to strengthen your calf muscles and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
But I ran in some of those in the wintertime and I didn't warm up. So, my muscles was real tight and that muscle just snapped, man. I was 18 years old. I didn't have no money to go get no surgery or nothing. And to this day, I still got problems with that leg. So that pretty much put a nail off into me trying to do something major. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got
yeah.
in boxing because I just like it, but my first fight, like no excuses, I won, but like I was kind of weight trained. I didn't really know what I was doing, man. But it was pretty well my IQ and my heart that got me through that. But I don't know, some crazy motherfucker put clips up there on YouTube of my first fight. I don't know where I've never seen them because I'm too self-critical. I've never fucking seen them. I
See,
never
but
seen them.
you in that age. See, back when I was fighting, when I was younger, we didn't have cell phones and stuff for everybody to pull it out and record your fight.
Yeah,
Like it was one Mexican lady at our gym that used to record the fights and stuff,
yeah,
so I could go check them out and stuff. But it wasn't everybody sitting up there with a fucking cell phone pointing them at the ring. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I never ever watched mine, man. And if I find it, don't even ask. I'm too self-critical. I won't watch it.
Well, hey, you did better than me because I lost my first fight. I lost by disqualification in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in my first fight.
First fight I had, buddy, I had I wasn't boxing that long, but he had 5 years experience and he had two kickboxing fights and three fights. That was my first fucking fight.
Well, my
And I was only smart. I think I only sparred. I don't want to bullshit, but I think I was only sparring like 3 months and I just jumped in there. Let's go. I want to
yeah,
find out if this is for me. But
yeah,
yeah, I ain't never seen it. I'm too self-critical. I know it's floating out there somewhere, but I'll
yeah,
never see it.
yeah. They said I tried to kick the motherfucker.
Damn.
Disqualified me, and then the second guy that I lost to, he was They this was I don't. This is what they told me. They said the
They pull up
motherfucker.
my Donna on them motherfuckers.
They said the motherfucker had a lot of fights in Mexico. They said he had close to 100 fights in Mexico. I don't know how true it is, but the dude, he was pretty good. And after the fight, everybody was cheering and shit, even though I lost. And it's like everybody was telling me like, good job and patting me on my back. And they were like, this motherfucker he got like 100 fights in Mexico. This is his first fight in the States and all
Yeah,
that kind of, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of felt a little good, but I did get my ass whooped. And what made it even worse is they after the fight they said my corner. So I was like in the blue corner, and then they said after the blue corner, and it was a mistake though. The other
yeah.
guy really had won. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
That made
hey,
it even worse.
let me ask you a question, Trey. You know you're gonna raise your hands, right?
Yeah.
You know you're gonna take that victory and shit, knowing you didn't deserve it.
Hey,
I can't
hey,
blame.
see, but look, Sanctus, I did give it everything I had. I went toe to toe with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So like, I felt like I lost, but if they would have said that I won, I wouldn't have felt too bad about it because I did stand in there. That motherfucker knew he was in a fight. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a one sided beat down shit. I went toe to toe with that motherfucker. Shit.
Damn, that shit.
Actually, I'm lying. I did find those clips. I sent them to Fanon. He better keep those in the vaults too. I just remembered that. Fuck.
Nothing wrong with it, man. You ain't gotta look like no fucking Ray Robinson. I mean, you out there doing it as a hobby, just enjoying the sport that you love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You ain't gotta
I'm
be
just self-critical, man. I'm just self-critical. I'm better off just fucking keep it moving, keep doing what you. I'm too self-critical, right?
man. At least you got the fucking guts to do it. Out of all the people, I done invited a lot of people to the gym over the years, and I had one fucking friend that came to the gym. Out of all the people that I invited, at least you got the fucking balls to go and get up in there. Shit,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I respect that.
Yeah,
yeah,
Shit, you too,
yeah.
Saint. I respect the opinion of a
They
person that done
take,
actually got up them stairs.
it takes a lot to overcome, your initial fear of sparring, man. And some dudes, man, they always stay shaky. They never shake it off.
yeah,
I
yeah,
seen guys, They came in, they were inexperienced, but then you see them spar more and more and more, but they never got comfortable, and they eventually they just quit.
Yeah.
Yep. Fighting's not for everybody, right?
Oh, and
I
then you
mean, it
got
was for me. It was for me. I just liked that other shit. To be honest with you, I didn't fucking want to be a fighter. I wanted to fucking do all type of crazy shit. Once I, once the shit didn't pan out with baseball and shit. I mean,
dude, that's where the money at though. Money is in
yeah.
baseball,
I mean,
basketball, football.
and
They make big.
I was pretty decent in baseball, man. I ain't gonna lie, but whatever. You make bad decisions and you wanted to be shit that you're not.
Yeah.
I just I didn't have the patience to wait, to go to college and do this. And I wanted money now, you know what I'm saying? I had to go get it. And in Miami in that time, everybody was getting money.
Yeah,
So I said, man, let me go ahead and see what I can do with this shit. Here and there, you make
yeah.
it. Trust me, it didn't pan out for
Got
me.
in with the wrong crowd. I got in with the wrong
Nah,
crowd too.
really, I can't really even say, because I was actually, I did my derb, on my own. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really fuck with niggas too tough like that. But it just some guys have, luck at doing shit and some don't.
Yeah,
But the good thing that happened to me is that I caught a case and shit and I said, fuck that, this ain't for me and I gotta keep it moving. I gotta find something else more constructive to do with my life.
yeah,
So then I got back to boxing, but as at training a little bit, training people, little amateurs, help with some pros and shit. That's how I got hooked up, working with the World Series of Boxing with the Miami Gallos.
yeah. I think you told me about that. Yeah,
A friend of mine was assistant coach, and then he had me helping him out or whatever, and that's because I like. I mean, I had money. I had money. I didn't need to do that, but it was the boxing aspect that had me wanting to go back, and just fucking around with the dudes, because I had, man, some of these dudes were so broke, man. Sometimes, man, I had to buy them niggas lunch.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, they didn't get paid well. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They didn't get paid too well, but and they competed, man. I mean, that's where I met my homeboy Ahmed, who just fought Gene Pascal, and he lost,
yeah,
by KO and shit. He fought all fucked up. I know he's better than that, but whatever, it is what it is.
yeah.
Who else that I met on? What's his name? He's a heavyweight. He's helping Deontay Wilder spar right now. Uh,
Fuck, eh?
did you see the boxing voice videos on Deontay Wilder's sparring partners?
Uh-uh.
Damn, man, I forgot his name. Well, he was cool too, man. I mean, he's a black heavyweight. Wow, I can't
No, I
remember
didn't
his
see
name.
that. Did you guys see how lit fucking Wilder was at the fucking press
Yeah,
conference today?
yeah, I
I,
did.
I saw
That
him.
shit's
I
some
saw him
scary shit.
actually. You think he was lit? I thought he was more lit with fucking Stavern.
Yeah, he was, but
Both of
that's
them was lit.
I didn't see the whole press conference. I seen Ortiz like laughing, like, "What the fuck is this guy saying?"
yeah,
Yeah,
he looked.
the face off was kind of intense. You know what I'm
You,
saying?
you saw the
They
face
look
off?
serious.
Tell me about the face off. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, they were just in each other's face, bumping their gums, and showing that they want to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Walker
Yeah,
is tall as shit though, man. Ain't
He looked down on Ortiz a little bit. Ortiz did look assertive though. He ain't looking scared. You know what I'm
he?
saying?
Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
good fight. Shit.
oh yeah, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Day
That's
after
why I
tomorrow.
say. That's why I say credit to Wilder because he's giving us these fights here where we're like, holy fuck, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
To
not
be
like,
honest with
I.
you, I'm an Ortiz supporter, right? But
yeah,
you know what I don't like is that he's coming across to me, and I fuck with Ortiz hard. You know what I'm saying? Pause. But for somebody who screwed up the first negotiation and the first fight, whatever potentially taking place last year.
Yeah.
and then getting another opportunity when the dude didn't have to. He's not coming across somebody who's actually grateful. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
he can't do that going into the fight, Sanctus. He
And
got to let
I
it
was
appreciate.
go.
gonna say he
No,
gets a pass. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say you don't have. First of all, Ortiz ain't too much of a shit talker. You know what I'm saying?
No,
He's like a quiet dude. So him being a quiet guy, you can actually expect him, to say something like that. Now leading into the fight, I'm not saying that a week or 2 weeks into the fight, but way back, when he fucked up and wanted to say, I'm gonna give you another shot, should have said, hey, I appreciate it, and Wilder, it looks like, he really want that work, and whatever, but come on, man, you gotta at one point, acknowledge that the guy, he looking out for you, he putting money in your pocket.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
agree. But after the fight, because you can't have any type of
Oh
empathy
yeah, nah,
or
before the
feelings.
fight,
Yeah, if you
man.
gotta fight a motherfucker, you can't give him any kind of room. You know what I mean? That's just me. Like if I gotta fight a motherfucker, like the dude that I fought was was a friend of mine and shit. But no, man, you gotta go in with that mentality. Like you're coming to beat me, and we're playing a
He
fucking
would
sport
he could
that
be like,
you're
hey,
trying to
you know
knock
what?
me out.
I don't like his ass. I don't like him as a person, but fuck that. I respect what he did when he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? You can say that.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what? He actually has had a couple interviews where he showed some respect. Like he was asked, did he see the fight going the distance? And he was like, "Nah, I don't see the fight going the distance." You know what I'm saying? Because both of us got good power, this and that, this and that. Like he gave a fair analysis. You know what I'm saying? So I think he do got a little bit of respect for Wilder and
No,
what
I
he
know
did.
for a fact he respects Wilder as a fighter. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel.
But you have to at least acknowledge, man, that the dude, he did you a real solid, man. We're not talking about, you kissing his ass or, whatever. They just say, hey, I appreciate you giving me a fight, and you're gonna get the fight you want. That's it.
Let me ask this question: If he wouldn't have failed the drug test the first time, when was that first fight going to take place?
December.
Yeah,
This past December?
It was
yeah.
December. It was gonna be December 10th, I
Okay,
think.
okay.
Was it
So that
December
was only
10th?
like that was only like
No,
three
no,
months.
no. It wasn't December. It was in November. November 14th, 16th or something.
Yeah. Well, I just
Remember
say,
Yeah,
man,
because
when
we're in
Wilder kept
fucking.
fucking up the date and shit? He like, oh, November 4th, 13, and then they were like, yo, no, the
okay,
fight's gonna be on.
it was November the 4th. It was on my mom's birthday.
It was the
Yeah, because
fourth.
we're in March, so it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Right. I know it was November. Yeah, Wilder kept saying the 15th, and they were like, oh no, it's the fourth or some
Well,
shit.
I asked that because you Ortiz getting older and stuff. He really don't have time to be wasting. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like if
he
you
got.
fail in test and you pushing the fight back, you giving your own self some chance to slip up in your with your age and stuff, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got to be tight. So if he do slip up a little bit, man, that's
Well,
really partly his own fault.
in Ortiz's favor, he's getting older, but I mean, and it's kind of like a double negative or a double-edged sword. He's getting older, but he's not taking damage because he's been
Yeah,
inactive.
yeah. He ain't been in no war, so he kind of like a
Yeah,
young old. He a young old. He
Yeah,
kind of fresh
yeah.
though.
Ortiz is well preserved, for a heavyweight. Most heavyweights, at his age, man, they all busted up and shit, banged the fuck up.
There's not a lot of wear and tear. That's why I say like nobody beats Father Time, but you can be preserved a little bit more in boxing. So 135 or 140-year-old might not be the same as another 35 or 40-year-old. Because if you're stopping people and you're not taking a lot of accumulative damage, then you're a little bit more preserved than a 40-year-old body that fucking been getting nothing but smashed. You know what I mean?
I think Ortiz's his amateur record, or his time as an amateur, actually, put more wear and tear on him than his actually professional fights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
that's
agree with
yeah.
that for sure.
but having the grueling workouts, in his native country, the competition, over there, the competition in heavyweight, for heavyweight to make the national team is fierce in Cuba.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? you have those so him fucking fighting Solis and shit like 4 times, and fighting the fucking Savons and
Yeah.
and the Mike Perez's and shit over. That was top notch competition. That they were getting over there. They weren't like some
Yeah.
fucking scrubs and shit that you beat and shit, and you make the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the company, I mean, I think to be honest with you, I haven't seen Ortiz man get hit flush like more than a handful of times as a professional. I know that Jennings tagged him a couple of times in that fight. I was watching the Malik Scott. I thought Malik Scott caught his at one time, but then I reviewed the video slowly, and it was actually more that Malik Scott came up with a headbutted him, and then threw
Yeah.
a punch that glanced off his shoulder because Ortiz likes to he tucks his chin in very well for a big
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I might disagree with this, but I always felt like Baba Jennings was trash. I never been impressed with him. Then he used to play football or some shit. He got into boxing after his
Yeah,
college football
he was a
career.
football. No, was he? What? I
Yeah,
thought it was
yeah,
the guy he beat, but he might have played football if I'm
yeah.
not
I think
mistaken.
he did. I think he played football first. I never been impressed with him, man. I always felt like he was trash. And the strategy that he used in that Ortiz fight was like tailor made for Ortiz. He
Yeah.
it was perfect for him. He got right up on the inside on Ortiz's level for his punches and shit, and just made it easy for him. You know what I'm saying?
But to be honest with you, many people didn't know that Ortiz had an inside game to that Jennings fight, and Jennings
Yeah.
himself didn't see it because he didn't know because he himself didn't.
Yeah.
When has Ortiz actually gotten toe to toe in an inside fight against any of his previous opponents?
I ain't gonna lie. I only seen Ortiz fight maybe 3 or 4 times. I
He's
seen.
always destroyed his guys at mid range or outer range. You
Yeah,
know, Jennings was the first guy that I saw him actually, you know,
bang on the inside.
bang on the inside and look good doing it. Look natural.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure Jennings wasn't expecting that him damn. So
When he got that inside game like that, that's something else that he can use against Wilder.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a
the
lot
thing
of fucking elements that Ortiz can implement. That's what worries me, man.
the thing is with Wilder is that fucking you're walking head on into some fucking fucking missiles and shit coming at your ass.
Yeah, that's what I said. Ortiz got to respect him either way because there's power and then there's Deontay Wilder type of power. Like you got to respect the motherfucker that can put your lights out, that can make mistakes for 5 rounds and just erase all that shit with one shot or 2 shots. You got to
Absolutely.
respect that.
Absolutely. You can't fuck around with Deontay Wilder, man. He's the wrong dude, man, to make a mistake with.
Yeah, because he'll erase his
No,
with
but
one shot. That's why they call that shit the eraser.
you if he drops you, you're gonna get up, but if you get up, you're not gonna have your faculties, man, to
Yeah,
defend
the
yourself.
recovery rate of a knockdown from Deontay Wilder is like 100%. You're not fully fucking recovered. I haven't seen anybody recover well from like
Me neither.
Yeah.
even with the poker face. Like boxers got poker faces. Sometimes they're not recovered, but they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll show that they are because that's what they do. They don't show their hand. But I ain't never seen a motherfucker get dropped by fucking Ortiz or Deontay Wilder and have a good success of recovery.
Yeah, he ain't
It's
shaking
usually
that.
over.
Yeah, you ain't shaking that like he's saying, you ain't shaking that motherfucking shit off, boy.
No.
You gonna be like, boom again. Wake up and shit and be like, what the fuck?
Y'all gonna make me
Yeah.
bet on Ortiz, man.
I mean,
Like I said, as an objective fight fan, man, like you always say, if you had to bet, if I had to bet, I would go with Ortiz.
You getting
see,
That's
two,
not what I
two
want.
you getting
I've
two and a
lost
half to one odds.
I've lost money betting on guys, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but betting on the technical fighter, not everybody
Yeah,
they win, but I won more of the technical fighter than the favorite power punch
Yeah.
or pressure fighter.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, I
I agree.
remember when I was younger and my mom wanted to bet on the Major Taylor fight and
And Chavez,
the Chavez fight, and you know, my mom knows a little bit about boxing herself. You know, her brothers and my uncles and shit were boxers.
yeah,
So she's like, no, no, I like the American. I like the American. He's a better boxer. And
yeah.
and I started watching. I saw some Chavez fight, and I said, Mom, you better change your bet. Put your money on the Mexican. She goes, no, no, no. The guy, the American, which is true. Andrew Taylor's a better boxer. You know, she knew what she was talking about. And I told her, but yeah, but that Mexican guy hits hard as fuck to the body. I've
Yeah,
watched
Yep.
some of his fights. Put your money on the Mexican. At the last minute, I'm talking about she changed her bet. She better do the stack.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, she won herself a grand. I got some fucking Jordans. I was happy.
I tell you what, I don't think that I don't think Taylor got robbed either. I feel like Chavez was putting it on his ass. Shit. When I go back
I
and
don't
watch
think,
that fight, I see Chavez on his ass hitting him with some shit that looked like it hurt. Shit. That
but
motherfucker looked like the elephant man after the goddamn fight.
if you're gonna bet money, man, try to go for man. Try to usually bet on the guy who gets hit the less.
Oh yeah, I always
Yep.
go for technical fighters. The only time I take a second guess is when the technical fighter is going against a great athlete like James Toney against Roy Jones or Bernard Hopkins against Roy Jones type shit. I mean, you know that athleticism, man. That's an equalizer sometimes, and I
Yeah,
think
that
this is
I
a
mean,
fight that it could be that case because you know Deontay
I don't
Wilder
s-
is a hell of an athlete.
You know when I take a second guess?
I don't
What's
see
up?
it being
Wilder
the
and
same.
Wilder and Ortiz. Because you know that saying in boxing where they say one punch can change it, anything can happen in boxing? That applies
Everybody got,
to Deontay Wilder. If it
everybody got
applies
a
to
game plan.
anybody, him.
Everybody got a
Yeah,
game plan until they get hit.
He literally got that eraser. Like
Yeah.
he could have everything going wrong if he's still on his feet.
Yeah.
And it takes that one when they say fucking anything could happen in boxing, it applies to Wilder because he can make every fucking technical mistake for 4 or 5 rounds. And if
Yeah.
and
he's still a live dog,
I like the
whap, that
I
shit
like
can be over. Just as quick as that. Turn
yeah.
out the lights and light a candle. Remember that
And let me
song?
ask
You can
y'all
do.
this. Let me ask y'all this.
Is
Who
he
is
saying
more
turn
who
on
is
the
more
lights?
like
Who's that? Teddy Pendergrass?
Yes, sir.
let me ask y'all this. Who is more likely to have a blowout victory?
Ortiz.
You think
I s-
so?
yeah.
But Wilder got that Tenny Pendergrass fucking shot. He turned out the fucking lights. Whoop.
Yeah. Okay. Is it any chance that this fight could be a draw?
No.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
Ain't a chance that it fucking goes 12.
Nobody
Yeah.
thought that Triple G and Canelo and shit was gonna end up in a draw.
Yeah.
You know,
This
two
this
power
this ain't
punches.
going 12. This ain't going 12.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Um, Heavyweights hit hard as fuck, man. It's the heavyweight division. I mean,
Yeah.
it surprised me, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Shit. The Vern went 12 rounds with the motherfucker in that
With
first fight.
Wilder, I mean, and
And he walked through some shit.
Yeah, man. That was crazy. I was like, what the how the fuck is this motherfucker still like this is not even fucking humanly how the fuck is this motherfucker walking through this shit?
Yeah.
Like this shit is fucking nuts.
A fucking land. I mean, a
let me
minefield or
ask
some
let me
shit.
ask you a question. If Ortiz starts going hard to Wilder's body, do you think Deontay Wilder is good enough of a counter puncher? You know what I'm saying, to capitalize on it?
No,
Yeah, he hasn't
not my
done any.
opinion.
I honestly haven't really seen him counterpunch.
And that's what I'm going by. I gotta go by what I see.
You know what
Yeah, cause
you
I'm
know
not
what I'm
I would,
comfortable with
afraid.
it.
You know what
I
I'm
would
afraid
like
what
to see
Wilder
him.
doing? Trying to
Was
use his arms and shit. Since he keeps his arms low, trying to use his arms to fucking to block body shots.
well,
That's
if
gonna
that happens, he can get caught the same way. What's that? James Kirkland when he got knocked out by Canelo, because he did that
Yeah.
same shit. And if he
Yeah, he
try to
tried.
block them shots with that shit, he gonna get knocked out like Kirkland, man.
If Ortiz goes to
That's
the body, he better Wilder's got to use his feet for defense and not go straight back.
He
If any
has to.
fucking any fight that you don't go straight back in the fight anyways, go out on an angle, pivot, do what you got to do. But
Yeah.
he can't be complacent at all because he with fucking Ortiz going to the body, just use your fucking feet, the
Yeah.
safest defense you can have because motherfuckers, it's science. You can't beat a range. If can get to a motherfucking spot where you can't hit me, you can't hit me. I don't give a fuck if Wilder got to fucking turn around and run the other direction. Get the fuck away from them
another
body shots.
It's
another
kind of
thing. I
like
don't.
it's kind of like when
Yeah,
Mayweather fought Corrales the first time, and George Foreman was like, "You got to use your legs and move your entire body out the way." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Instead of trying to block it and all that different shit, you gonna have to take that type of approach.
hell
Move
yeah.
your whole body, man.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
I forgot which fighter was that. The late great Emmanuel Stewart. He was I think he was doing the who was it? He was doing the Shane Mosley. Was it Shane Mosley versus Mayorga or Fernando Vargas? I forgot who it was, man. But Emmanuel Stewart, he was saying that what you need to do. Don't catch punches on your arm. You got to make the guy slip.
Yeah.
You gotta slip the punches so he can get tired, so you can frustrate him. If you catch the punches all the time, you're helping your opponent. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
and
If I start,
and that's
if I see Ortiz fucking doing early body work early, putting that body work in, consistent attack, and being successful, it ain't gonna
it's
be
gonna
good because
Well,
he'll get his head. He'll
I
get his head.
I can't see him going to the body early while Wilder is still fresh because he gonna have the good legs. His legs still gonna be strong. He gonna have the jab snapping. It's gonna be hard to get to his body early in the fight. Just I think so.
Hopefully,
well. I mean, the idea is to get his legs up out of there with the body shots. So you
yeah.
know,
I hope
I would
not.
suggest that he does, but he has to throw something hard upstairs to like spook or scare Deontay Wilder so he can set up the body shots.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. Feint, and act like you're gonna throw something hard downstairs, or when he starts biting on that, then you go to the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta confuse him. What I like
Well,
about
boys,
Wilder is that I saw him implementing feints, so that tells me that they're thinking on that side over there in that camp. You know what I'm saying? They're not just gonna go in there trying to blast them out,
no.
with conventional, tactics.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
you can't be conventional with Luis Ortiz, man. He's sitting on your right hand. That dude is just, I don't care. Throw a jab, throw three jabs, triple up on your jab. I don't give a shit. The minute I see that right coming, I'm gonna fucking slip it and I'm gonna fucking clock you with the
Fucking,
left.
fucking slam them.
Yeah.
So if I was Wilder, I do something like, I'll throw a real hard jab at him, then feint the right, come back with the jab, then jab again, feint the right. When he throws a left, slip it, boom, hit him over the top, over his own counter.
Get that motherfucker thinking. When you're
Yeah,
thinking, you're
man,
not
he has
punching. When you're thinking, you're not
exactly,
punching. But
Yeah.
exactly.
boys,
He has to.
you guys go ahead and then I'll watch this tomorrow because I know I gotta cut out because it's 1 o'clock here. I gotta work in the morning. I was tired as a motherfucker last time. I went to bed at
Oh,
fucking 4 and I had to be up for
You
6.
yeah.
you
It's all
good?
good. We can go ahead and wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? We can jump on it
All
another
right,
day or
there we
something.
go. Then let's call it a day. And we can.
Everybody call out their shout outs. All right, who you picking tomorrow? And then say who
All
you're
right.
rooting for tomorrow.
Oh, you mean
It's
Saturday?
tomorrow.
Or Saturday.
Yeah, well, it is tomorrow
Shit.
because we're in Friday already.
All right, we
Yeah.
got a gun. We got a gun to everybody's head. Who the fuck you picking?
Who's on the undercard?
I don't know.
Who's on
Let
the?
me pull up. Let me pull up what's going down this weekend because we got some more fights like the Sergey. I mean,
Oh,
Rabchenko and KL Brook and shit like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They still got
And Sullivan,
Jamal Charlo. They still got Charlo up here with Centennial, but didn't Centennial pull out?
Yeah.
that's what I heard. I heard somebody say
Yeah,
that.
also,
Yeah. That
they
ain't
still got
happening.
Sullivan Barrera's fighting Bivol.
yeah. Andre Durrell is fighting Uz Uzkatige, Uzkatagi or something like that again.
Yeah, the guy that Darrell's uncle fucking punched in the face.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get on Durrell ass too. You got
Well, I
Demetrius
mean,
Bivol and Sullivan Barrera,
yeah, yeah. That to me is a
and
toss-up fight, man.
damn, I forgot Kovalev fight this weekend too.
Yeah.
I hope he gets knocked the fuck out. I can't stand it.
Me.
And I used
I
and I
second
used to
that. I
fuck
second that.
and I used to fuck with Kovalev, man. I didn't know he was such a piece of shit, such a crying ass little hoe.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like him.
Stop crying about Ward
So
punching you in the ball. You should have done it too, you dumb fuck.
Yeah. Considering it wasn't even in the balls.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But well, I mean, I don't know much about his opponent. I'm not even sure. Even nah, I haven't seen no fights from that dude. So since I don't know the opponent, I got no choice but to go with Kovalev.
okay,
So
who y'all
I
got?
picked him.
Bivol and Barrera.
Fuck.
I'm riding with Barrera. I want him to win, but to me, it's a 50-50 fight. But if I had to pick somebody really, I
You
go
must
with
be
Barrera.
Cuban. You Cuban, bro?
Let's not
What?
tell the community.
I'm saying is thanks is you Cuban
Yeah,
already.
yeah, I'm
I
Cuban.
thought you would,
I'm Cuban.
but
No,
I
no,
thought you
no.
would.
But yeah, I kept that on rest because the trolls, how they be like. But it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm Cuban. But
yeah.
I'm
That's what's
going with. To be honest with you, to me, it's a 50-50 fight, man. I think Bivol, even though he's less experienced than Barrera, man, the guy can box. He has skills. He's not a pushover. He's not
I
the
ain't gonna even
guy
lie to
that
you. I ain't fight, man.
huh? Gotta
Yeah.
watch the fight.
Yeah, I gotta watch him fight, man, before I can even give an opinion. I ain't never seen him fight.
Yeah. I don't like
I,
giving
I
uneducated opinions. If I didn't see them fight, then
yeah, I seen his fight with Valera. It's the common opponent that he has with whatchamacallit, with Barrera, and he spanked that guy.
yeah.
He didn't work.
Oh,
You,
I
you
think I
know.
seen fight. If Bivol is the dude I'm thinking of in my mind right now, that motherfucker was slick and smooth in there.
Yeah, he fought the
So you say
Dominican that
he a
Sullivan Barrera
fighter?
just. I think he's a good fighter.
You said
He's
that
a good puncher. He got a
Yeah.
good
you said
jab. He
Bivol.
fights behind the jab. Got a good, he has skills.
Yeah, if it's that guy that I'm thinking of that I saw fight once, I'm gonna go with Biff because I did see a dude that was pretty motherfucking good. I think that's that guy.
Yeah.
Is he kind
But
of long a little bit? Kind of got like a little height on him, a little long arms and shit a little bit.
no, I think Barrera's the guy that he's the taller, longer puncher, I think, longer fighter.
I might be thinking about somebody else then.
You
Yeah. Well,
remember?
my pick before I cut out, because I do got to cut out.
I just picked the Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz fight.
I
It
got to
would
go
be
by my
all
own logic. If I had to bet, I'd go with Ortiz, but I'm hoping I'm fucking wrong. I actually want to be fucking wrong. So I'm rooting for Wilder, but if I got a fucking gun to my head, I got to go with Ortiz, man. I got to.
All right, I'm rolling with. I feel like out with the old, in with the new. Luis Ortiz, time, unfortunate circumstances kept him from reaching his full potential in the America professional game, and I feel like it's Deontay Wilder's time. I'm going with the Bronze Bomb Squad all day.
Okay, it's okay to pick him. Just don't bet on him.
Now, if I had to bet, I'd put my money on Ortiz because you're getting two to one
Don't put no
odds.
money on him. You know what I'm saying? Keep that money. You know what I'm saying? They go get another steak. You got some chicken. Next week you get some steak.
Yeah, for sure.
But see, I think Ortiz is gonna win the fight. I think he's gonna stop Wilder TKO mid rounds.
Okay. Okay.
mid to late rounds. Um,
That's a
and to
bold
me,
prediction.
it really doesn't matter who wins because I mean, either guy right there is gonna get ducked like a motherfucker by Joshua, so it doesn't really fucking matter. It's not gonna move or progress the heavyweight division any more than if either win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Joshua's gonna fight David Haye,
OT.
Tony Bellew. So I
Yeah.
mean, does nothing for the heavyweight division. Doesn't put it in a better position. The winner is gonna have to fight whoever the fuck fight to stay active because Joshua's gonna they have their own agenda on that side over there, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
really don't care who wins.
Man. We got our picks in, so we'll see what go down. I'm around with the Bomb Squad.
All
My
right.
boy
I
Here we
Tyler
mean,
putting
go.
in good work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see
you gotta
y'all
hope
boys tomorrow on the
you gotta
live
hope
stream or something.
that bomb blows up and shit. It might turn into a little firecracker.
Yes, sir. All right, boys, I got a cut.
All right,
All right,
fellas.
man.
Good
See
night.
what y'all tomorrow on live stream or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, holler at
Good,
me, man. We're doing whatever.
good job,
All
boys.
right.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
Already.
Bye.
Down.
Yeah.